That's the South and the West. So what are we doing as a people and as a government, from both a state level, regional level to the federal level? What are we doing to fight insecurity? Now, we're talking about a situation where it was the vice president who had mentioned that they're looking for ways to get more investors into the country. And you ask yourself the question, how do we get investors into the country when insecurity seems to be at its all-time high? So how are we going to help ourselves in the country? Because it looks like all of the options we have on the table is going to be, on a negative, because when we look at the situation, insecurity is in the high, poverty is increasing. A lot of people within the north or in the north are being displaced daily. IDP camps are not even safe in the first place anymore. And then we have the military sometimes come out to tell us that they are on top of the situation. Other times we also hear that they come out to tell us that they are being displaced because they do not have enough weapon. The weaponry is poor, welfare is poor, the morale of the soldiers or military is low. So how are we going to get this over with? Because it looks like by each day, each single day, we have one or two problems of insecurity springing up. I mean, we had issues of ASPs being kidnapped in the same country. We have issues of people being kidnapped. We have issues of people being ransacked from their homes daily. Daily. And not because every day we don't have, the opportunity to talk about it. It doesn't eliminate or shift the fact that these things happen. So how are we going to solve this issue of insecurity? How are we going to address this problem? Are we really sincere in our fight against insecurity in the north or in Nigeria as a whole? Because I don't see how we are putting in so much effort and in the end of the day, there's little or nothing to show for it. It means that something somewhere is not right. It means that something somewhere is a lie. And we probably wouldn't have, had this come up now if not for the fact that the Sultan had also mentioned it. It is not just in one community, it is happening in so much more other communities than we can tell. I mean, the last time we had this discussion was when we had, the viral videos of people being ransacked, killed, and massacred in the northern part of Nigeria. And that was when we had this discussion. And that was when we had the governor of the state now come out to say that he is making sure that everything is under control, which goes a long way to show you that, of a truth, the media within that region is not covering this issue, as much as it should. So how are we fighting insecurity? And are we sincere? Because I don't see how we can be sincerely putting in this much effort as we claim, as we hear on, whenever they come out to talk about the case on TV, on radio. If we're really sincere, we probably would not be seeing the high spate of insecurity within that region. Well, I'm going to open the phone lines now and I'll get your opinion on every single thing we've railed out on the show. And we really hope that together we can be constructive with what we want to say and then give our, honest 2 cents on what we can do and how we can do it to change the situation on ground. 0817-0000951 or 0810-9510-951. 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, my sister again. Emeka from Owerri, Imo State.
Good afternoon, Emeka. You're welcome.
I think if I can give the best program you have had this year, this is one of the best programs you have had this year. See, there is nobody can be more northerner than the Sultan of Sokoto. Nobody. This man reveals the truth about what is happening in the north. Complete truth, which some of us even here will tell you. And look at, he mentioned the changing of security chief. Senate said it. Everybody has been saying it. And some of us here that play politics will tell you the Buhari is in order, everything is doing is in order. Look at what is coming out from Sultan of Sokoto. This is why some of us here, sometimes I don't know how we take things. Those people over there, they know how to hide things. That is their name culture. I want to marry to what the governor said. I want to take the message and not even the messenger somehow. The governor said about the restoration of Nigeria and still federalism. That talk is a proper talk. But you know my problem now? The first set of people that challenge, see governors from South that call the meeting, tell you what they need, which is what we are clamoring for. The people that say it on air, say it to the world that no, the governors are thieves, governors are lying, they should show certain present, they should do this. This kind of thing cannot come from us. Why should you be the person to tell the world that your governors are thieves?
But if the situation points to that, why won't you be able to?
Sister,
I mean, don't we deserve better than what we see in this region? Don't we?
Listen, you don't wash your dirty linen in the public.
And that's the more reason why you would not even end up washing it in the first place. But thank you very much. I think your contributions are very valid.
I'm not done. Let me finish, please. I'm not done. Another thing I want to say is like what you said you don't blow, you don't have to blow. Okay, now in other words, what you're not telling me, because I listen to your station all the way, always. What you're not telling me, instead of your people, let us assume that the governors in the over there are your people, that the leaders are eating the money. So in other words, because I used to hear in this station that the oil well, the left to get data and go and give it to outside people.
But you know that's not what I'm talking about, right? So that's the more reason I have to leave, all right? Thank you. Thank you very much, Emeka. You've done very well, but please don't derail next time you call. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon. My name is Apostle calling from Port Harcourt. Lady West, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome.
All right. I'm surprised to hear you people that are discussing about this thing, because if there's somebody like me that bring that report, you people will say it's allegedly. But this time, you people are not using that language allegedly. They are saying some flood herdsmen that are gone, and I don't know why. The thing is, the way I see the thing will not stop, because the way we take this thing here, when something happens on this side, the way they used to focus, take this thing is not the way. In one country, they are getting the division. The thing will continue. I'm telling you, see the little that happen in Nairobi, but see the kind army they bring at Nairobi, and the shop people will be inside your house, they will come and bring you out and beat you up. And this thing happened that side, nobody is taking it serious. It will continue. I pray that it will happen every day in Jesus' name. That's my prayer. Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to the next person now. 95.1 FM. Hello.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome.
Our oil and our fuel officials.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, one thing that our so-called government officials, they are full of lies. You can remember last year, because of they said that they have totally removed subsidy. That because of that, they now want to manufacture generators that will use gas in Nigeria. This more than what they tell us, they say that they are going back to negotiate or to think about how they will now restructure or put a new pump price. I don't know the word I said, that it is the people that are deciding how the fuel will be.
I think that's the more reason why they didn't give us a conclusion, right, with the last meeting. That's why they're going back to consult.
Because they are all liars.
All right. What we can't say they are all liars. Let's see what will come out of this negotiation between the NLC, the NNPC, and the federal government. And that would be in the next 7 days, I'm thinking. So let's see how that turns out, right?
Anyway, nothing will come out, because I know that they are lying, so nothing will come out. Definitely they will bring it down, because they don't want strike to occur, so they will bring it down.
So you think they're lying to us? Okay.
That's the more reason why I say they are lying, because you are totally remove the subsidy. And last week, the BBC Silver was on channel saying that no, they've not completely removed subsidy. How can the government be talking from both of the mouth? These people, in fact, I'll just pack up.
All right, I could barely make out what you were saying, and that's how I lost you. Sorry. Okay. Are we going to have this problem again? All right, let's keep the calls coming in, and 0817 00951 or 081095100951. Let's talk about the meeting between the NLC, NNPC, and the federal government, and also talk about the situation in the northern Nigeria. And do not forget, I also mentioned 95.1 FM.
Yeah, I'm Noble.
You're welcome, Noble.
Let me talk about the insecurity in the north. By what the Sultan of Sokoto said, that bandits are even moving street by street, even in the market, buying market and collecting change. So does it mean that we don't have security men over there? doesn't mean that army are no longer there. But they are here in the Oyibo side of the Port Harcourt, going house by house, looking for people, for IPOB members also. But when they said that insecurity is much, the federal government will debunk it. There is no insecurity anymore in there. Then army people will suffer, catch up these Boko Haram people. Then later at last, we will release them to the community. But here, we are suffering just like a man. Then let me also talk about labor negotiating, going back to negotiate about fuel subsidy. I think nothing will come about it because politicians have forget these guys. When they increase the first one, they didn't talk. They increase the second one, they did not talk. Even continue, he lived in a standard increasing fuel by monthly. They didn't talk anything. We will be in this country before a liter will go up to 250 per liter.
I hope it doesn't get to that, but
I'm seeing the sign. Because even if they do, who will protest for us? Even this one, they're even against protest because if you protest, that will never say who.
But that's what Labour is doing. Labour is trying to represent us, isn't it?
That for how long? What have come? The one that did, even the one that came to River State to do about increase. What did I came here to do? Anything will come out of it.
All right then, Noble. All right, thank you for your contribution there. Let's move on to the next person. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Engineer Victor. I'm calling from Rumolumini.
You are welcome.
Yes. We are talking about labor. For me, we don't have labor now again. We only have labor during the time of former President Goodluck Jonathan. That is when they will occupy everywhere. When Jonathan brings fuel just to 120, they were occupying everywhere because Jonathan is from a minority area. Now that we have a president that is from the north, they don't want to occupy it.
You think what they are doing now is just in the end of the day they will just play to the gallery.
My sister, there is one thing that is killing us in this country, tribalism. Because Jonathan is from a minority area, that's why they oppress him and force him out of office. That is not the reason why I call. Let me tell you one of the reasons why I call. They are talking about the bandits going around by Sultan of Sokoto, saying that they are going around freely buying something. If it is in this side now, I mean, we chase you, go to Obibo, go to Iko, ordinary Ikoku, you see over how many van of Iko military van, bringing people out. This is why we are asking whether we have two types of government in this country. There is a law that banned us in the Arab is a different law. Let them carry soldiers. You go to Aba every year, the soldiers are just moving around freely here. Let them go there and fight them. We have soldiers, they should go there and fight them. They are doing one-sided politics in this country. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that. 195.1 FM.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, World.
Good afternoon.
This is Congo calling from Africa.
You're welcome.
You see, for me, if the bandits are going around there at the north and they don't talk to them, let them stay now. But here, if there is anything wrong, let them fish out. Let them sanitize this place to be okay for us.
See, here's the thing, right? Even though you want to say that and believe that, okay, your own region is okay, your locality is fine and safe, don't you know that as soon as they are able to overpower the military within a region, it would boost the morale of these insurgents and they would want to extend their territory and expand it. So I feel that's not the right comment to give at this point in time.
Let me tell you something. You see those Boko Haram there? I am assuring you that by the grace of God, the boys we have here that are living alive cannot even allow them to come here. Let them come. Since there are people there, all these
I think you don't understand what terrorism is, because if that's the case, it means that it would be a rift and show of power between, according to you, the boys living around here and the ones coming in. Now, what happens to the ordinary you and I?
My sister, let me tell you one thing. We cannot dictate for the people at the helm of affairs. They know what is better. If something is going on there, why do they allow them? Because they have power. No wahala. Let them continue. But the issue is this. The extension to this, like you said, But I pray we will not allow them.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's entirely your opinion there. Let's quickly get that out of the way. Let me open the lines for the SMS so that we can take some messages. You can send in your messages anyway to contribute on the show to the number 0701 9339 962. This one says, good afternoon, presenter. To be frank with you, Nigerian Labour Congress is dead. Chris Ngige, the last time I checked, the federal government is not sincere in handling the affairs of Nigerian citizens. That's coming from George from Rumewo, Edego. This one says, when the northern leaders say banditry and insecurity must stop, it will definitely stop within days. So let us wait for them to come up with the resolution to stop it. From Festus Stigbani. This one says, good afternoon to you, lady presenter. I am Ebirin Joy from PH. Let the truth be told, the insecurity in the north and the northerners know their problem and know how it all started. If they want it to stop, it will stop. Remember their statement, an attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the north. All right, thank you very much, Ebirin Joy, for that one. Let's quickly check what we have on the WhatsApp portal. This one says, good afternoon, Wealth. Labour's renewed move is face-saving and shouldn't be taken seriously. How possible is it that he who pays the piper wouldn't detect the tune? Ayubawaba-led Labour is a major disappointment to Nigerians, having played Labour into the hands of the APC government of Buhari. To think aloud, Ayubawaba is extended the content of brown envelopes we received from the Buhari's government. All right, thank you very much, Onyawaji Fine Face in Ngo Town. This one says, Wealth, the North, they have been in power for long now, and it is in every northerner not to allow his brother to have their own space and develop over time. What does that mean? Okay, I would have to read that back again so that I would understand what you're saying, Henry from Nkpolu. But let's quickly go back to the phone lines and hear from the callers now. 95.1 FM.
My sister.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is ID calling from Abua.
You're welcome, ID.
Thank you. You see, the Northerners created this menace right from the day they started to rule this country.
How is that?
They created this menace.
How is that?
You see, a Northerner can move from Kanu, Kaduna, Sokoto to River State with a rifle, not a military personnel, not a police personnel, and nobody will challenge it. But let person from the south move with just a penknife, he will be charged.
You see, we cannot say nobody will challenge them because we haven't seen them actually move without, unchecked, you understand? The ones who have been caught and reported, I'm pretty sure that the security operatives know how to handle that because when it's not licensed, it is illegal.
See, my sister, and when you begin to talk this, I begin to shiver. I said, I was in Lagos, even in Port Harcourt. I said, somebody from the north who is not a military officer, he will move with penknife, jackknife. He will move with, in fact, dangerous weapons. Nobody will stop him. I'm telling you, I've been in court. I've seen so many things. I need not to expose so many things. And I want to tell you that they've already created this menace. They've licensed these people to be moving with all these sorts of dangerous weapons.
All right, so they caused this for themselves.
On the issues of labor, we don't have labor again. Labor is dead. Labor should not talk anything again.
But at least they're trying to send the plight of the people to the federal government. I mean, they're talking about this issue now, isn't it?
My sister, when President Goodluck Jonathan was in power, and he said, I will remove subsidy and increase the pump price of the motor spirit to 125 naira. What happened in Lagos? I was in Lagos. I live at the in I said from Ojota to National Stadium, the whole place was occupied. Protest in fact, general administration allowed every protest there.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that one. That's entirely your opinion. Let's hope that this particular meeting with the federal government yields something in the long run. And let's see how it plays out, right? Let's just see how it plays out. Having issues with the phone lines once again, and hopefully we could get that rectified as soon as possible. Sending your text messages if you cannot reach us via call to the number 0701 9339 962. And that number also doubles as the line for WhatsApp messages. Okay. All right, give us some time there to rectify the issue with the phone lines. Sincerest apologies. And hopefully we'll be able to take more of your calls and then get in the conversation even more. We're talking about a whole lot of things. I mean, and that includes insecurity as well. I mean, where we have our religious leaders and our traditional rulers within that region come out to tell us what's really going on. And then you ask yourself the question, what do we really do at this point in time if we have the federal government come on here or come on the media and tell us that, you know what, we're trying to rectify this issue. We're trying to make sure that in the end of the day, insecurity does not overwhelm the North. And what are the Northern leaders doing actually? Because I'm thinking that with this kind of information coming from the Sultan, that the Northern leaders, governors especially, should be more worried. They should be much more worried. They should be worried that their states are under this kind of fire and attack. Banditry, Boko Haram, a lot of issues going on. So why don't we have them apply so much pressure on both themselves and the security chiefs as well as the federal government to ensure that their region does not continue to suffer the way it does or the way it is suffering currently? So how come that is not the case? I mean, we're out here talking about the social media bill when there is something looking us in the face, a very big monster looking us in the face about to eat us all up. Well, let me get to hear from you. I think we've been able to rectify whatever issues we had with the phone lines. I would just try now, and hopefully that is the case. Good. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Cosmopo. Cosmopo.
Okay, you're welcome.
Cosmopo, yes, I'm calling you from Aba. On the issue of insecurity in the north, you see, I don't like it when such a noise comes from the north. Overall person in army is from north. Even the same with the police, even with the scouts, man or what. All of the executives are from the north. So why are they crying foul? But you come to this our southeast now, or south, you will see all army on the streets, brutalizing people here and there. Like what I saw yesterday in Aba here, I was like, if it was possible for me to murder that army man, I would have. Because of nothing. If you see the way there was, both of them, they were two. Electing a taxi driver, this seemed to stupid. I don't know why they have many fights to fight in the night.
So do you think that this increase of insecurity is deliberate? Because I mean, if we have them functioning in this region, they should also
let their elders, even that Sultan, let them call their brothers in a meeting and see how they will sort it out.
Okay.
Are they telling us that have no power to do what about this? Huh?
All right.
Unfortunately, I don't like that fact.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. That's entirely your opinion. 95.1 FM.
Hello, well, this is Hart calling from Ahoda West.
You're welcome, Hart.
you mentioned NNPC, you mentioned NELC. These are federal agencies, together with the federal government. They are the ones corrupting our economy, destroying our economy, destroying democracy, making things difficult for the living of the pharmacists. What are you telling me that this agent, they have nothing to do, they have nothing to offer in this country, there's nothing they will do that will bring good results in this country. They have failed this country, they have destroyed the economy of this country, causing suffer, causing problems, causing hardship, increasing, making the pharmacist's life very difficult to find living, difficult in their life. What are you telling me that this agency have nothing to offer in this country? This government, they have failed this country. They have failed this country. Let us say the truth. We are citizens of this country.
Okay. But that's entirely your opinion anyway, and it's valid. I'm not saying it's not valid. It is very valid if you think that's what's happening. But then again, it is one thing for us to come out and say that this government or this country has failed its citizens and its people and all of that. But what can we do to change the situation? What can we do to change the narrative right now? Because we cannot continue like this. We can't keep complaining. What do we do? How do we do it? That is what we need to be talking about. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon.
So now, to kind of to come in on air to tell us all these things. I begin the one that look, we begin the burn our airtime. We be say now them be the head of all the security for this country. What thing they come on air they tell us again? Look, we here.
He's simply expressing the plight. He's expressing. Okay. He's expressing the plight of his people, which of course is in his rights too, because he's concerned. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, world.
Good afternoon.
Let me talk about the insecurity in the north by the Sudan. You can see.
What's your name?
I'm Chris from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome, Chris. Please go on.
A very respectable person like the Sudan. He has come out to say the truth because, I mean, the federal government, where is he? What is his name? Lai Mohammed. They have been trending us with so much lies.
That's the Minister of Information?
Yeah. Trending us with so much lies that the Boko Haram thing, they have technically defeated the Boko Haram. But see what's happening now. How could bandits be moving on the streets with AK-47, going to the market and buying things and taking change? Where are the security people? Where are they? Where are the military? Where are those soldiers that are really flooded here in the South? Why are they not there now?
You know, the funny part of this is also we get reports that a lot of these communities that are supposedly affected by banditry and insurgents, that there are lots of military presence there. So what are they doing? How can there be military presence there as well? And then these people are moving freely unchecked.
I tell you, lots of questions begging for answers. Lots of questions begging for answers. So what's happening? Why are they flooding here? And there are a lot of crimes, there are a lot of things to be done there in the north. See, the governors are not even saying anything. So this whole thing is just political. You just see there's politics in this whole thing.
All right then. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, well. Hello, well.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, good afternoon. Well, why is he complaining? Who is he supposed to be complaining to the masses?
Who is that? Are you talking about the Sultan?
Yes.
Well, he is complaining because from what he has seen and observed, there is little or nothing being done. So he has to make his voice heard.
With his position, he cannot talk to the president directly.
I mean, this would also get the president's attention, isn't it?
No. You see, there are certain things we don't just come on air to talk. After all, some of the persons told us in this first cabinet that the president is not reading the newspaper or whatever. In fact, I feel he should have, I think, book appointments with the president.
Not just to come and talk on media.
The northern leaders and even traditional rulers have had on several accounts meetings with the presidency. So I'm thinking that this is another cry to at least get their attention and put them under the fire and pressure for them to do more.
If these persons have held meeting with the president and the thing is getting worse, then I'm sorry to say the persons there are incompetent. I'm sorry, but that's just the simple truth. If you say we will stop insecurity in 6 months' time, and this is 5 years, you are not able to do anything where people are still crying. But once it is blowing of pipeline, the same soldiers that are not able to do not say anything, that are not able to fight this will scatter villages, then is either people are benefiting from this insecurity or there is another agenda.
All right, then.
Turn this country to something else.
All right, then.
Either they are benefiting, is either it has become an oil well, and so they don't want to fight it, or they are doing different things altogether.
All right. Thank you for your contribution there. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good afternoon, Wes.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Chris Chris. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome, Chris.
Yeah. You see this thing that we call pregnancy. You can't cover it. But you can only it only 1 month or 2 months.
Can you take that again? I really didn't follow.
Yeah, I said pregnancy. You don't cover it with your hand. You can only amend it or pretend when it is 1 month or 2 months. Once it's 3 months, 4 months, every eye will see it. You know, it has been long. We have been shouting this thing. We that are always travel to the north and come back, that we have people there. Who said it that what you are hearing in newspaper and the media houses is not how it is. The sound of the Tacola is not how it is.
Now, do you want to explain? Is it that they are exaggerating? Okay.
Yes, see, it's Mr. Lai Mohammed that are the person that we should hold responsible. Because when you are telling us that everything is okay, soldiers will remain calm now. They will remain because Lai Mohammed has said that they have defeated Boko Haram. So there is no need of bringing soldiers to that place. So we have to hold Lai Mohammed responsible because he has something, ulterior motive in the back of his mind. Why is it that there is crime in the north? Lai Mohammed are telling us that there is nothing like that. Just like something is happening in my one now, you give us people information, go to my one, nothing, and the people are being killed there. Who do we blame? It's you or the person that say nothing is happening in my one. Okay. Information is good. It's either if Mr. President, if the Sultan of Sokoto are coming out here to tell us to meet Mr. President in Asurok, it's either there is nobody in Asurok or something is fishing somewhere, because you cannot tell me that somebody that Sultan of Sokoto should talk to is there. You need to talk to a person that is.
All right, Chris, I don't know, we lost you there. Try and get back to us. It's just that we're out of time anyway. So I'm going to read the text messages and WhatsApp messages with this, I think 1 minute on the clock. This one says, good day, presenter. Please, Nigeria does not have NLC. Thank you. That's coming from Felix. Okay, this one says, good afternoon. This new initiates were further empowered by some political elites and government. Okay. That's not my conversation. This one says, well, why must you always say it is entirely your opinion? Because it is entirely your opinion. You're not speaking for everybody. You're speaking for yourself. This one says, good day, Wealth. In my opinion, the royal leader, that's the Sultan, is playing politics over the insecurity situation of the nation. It is a deliberate and calculated plot by the Northerners to cover the president's inability. But how is this covering the inability of the president if he's coming out to say that there is actual cases of insecurity in the north? I don't know. Is it that you got the information wrongly? Well, this one says, what the Sultan said is allegedly. Lai Mohammed will say that we are safe in the north. Okay, that's coming for Cyprian. This one says, okay. can't take that. This one says, good afternoon. On insecurity in the north, for me, what is going on is deliberate. To make it worse, the president is using divide and rule tactics by giving more attention to the north in appointments and employment, making it impossible for northerners to criticize the government directly. The service chiefs will remain there till the end of the tenure to carry out the president's agenda. By God's grace, their plan will fail. That's coming from Tony. All right, thank you so much. That's so much text messages or calls or even WhatsApp messages that we can take for the first half of the show. We're going to take the news update at 2, and then when we come back, we'll be talking about the case of unemployment and the educational sector generally in the country. We'll be looking at the reason why we have lots of unemployed graduates in the country, and then we'll be preferring solutions. So don't go anywhere, stay with us. Still Wealth Wilson here. The news update comes up next.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson. The Nigerian Army has promoted 421 of its top officers to new ranks. Details of the promotion is contained in the Nigerian Army memo signed by Major General Gat Oshigbano. The promotion list contains 39 brigadier generals who were promoted to the rank of Major General, while 97 colonels were moved to the rank of Brigadier General. Similarly, 105 lieutenant colonels were promoted colonel, while 180 majors became lieutenant colonels. The newly promoted officers are, however, barred from using their new ranks until they are formally decorated. A federal high court has granted bail to the senator representing Borno South, Ali Ndume. Senator Ndume has been in detention since Monday over his suretyship for former pension reform tax team chairman Abdul Rashid Meina, who have jumped bail. But Justice Okonabang, who granted the bail, said the decision was based on the senator's record of good behavior in court. Ndume had been remanded at the Kuje Correctional Center for failing to produce former pension tax team boss. The Supreme Court has dismissed an application filed by Shell Petroleum Development Company seeking to set aside a January 11, 2019 judgment of the court upholding damages to the tune of 17 billion naira awarded against the oil company. The Apex Court had on January 11, 2019 upheld an earlier judgment by the Court of Appeal affirming a June 14, 2010 judgment of the Federal High Court, which awarded the damages against Shell over an oil spill at Ejamebulu in LMA local government area of Rivers State in 1970. Dismissing the application, Justice Samuel Osuji, who read the lead judgment of the Supreme Court's panel prepared by Justice Sentus Mweze, held that the application by Shell asking it to review its earlier judgment was unmeritorious. Although the lawyer to Shell declined speaking to newsmen, lawyer to Ejamebulu community Lucius Nwosu, while applauding the verdict of the court, said the judgment sum with interest now stands in the region of 160 billion naira. On the foreign scene, the eldest daughter of Ghana's former president, Jerry Rawlings, has warned against online fraudsters who claim to be raising funds for her father's funeral. Senator Rawlings, in a statement, said fake social media accounts have been created in her name to solicit for funds. She said the fraudsters are targeting those sending their condolences to her. Ms. Rawlings is a member of the parliament for the Lotke Kole constituency in Ghana's parliament. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget to take responsibility, wash your hands frequently with soap under running water. Avoid touching your face in high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Once again, good afternoon. I'm Wealth Wilson. Thank you for listening. Do stay tuned as today's hustle continues.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Government tell us say police now our friend. I remember what my papa tell me. Say make I mind who I dey call my friend.
Young lady, you're under arrest.
Oga, for waiting now. What can I do?
When you get to the station, you'll find out.
Hey.
Don't show, everybody don't drop out.
I say I know they follow you go anywhere.
Hey, you know they go anywhere. Go and ask about Officer Mark. You see, if I deal with you, nothing will happen. Nobody will question me. I will deal with you.
Oga, leave my clothes now. Wait. You won't take care of me. Oga.
Do you have 200,000?
200,000 for what now? What can I do where you want to collect 200,000?
If you get to the station, you pay more than that.
200K for waiting. I don't get that kind of money. I don't get that kind of money. Oga, remember, you were once like us before you got into force. You have brothers and sisters like us in this society. The law says protect lives and properties. But what do we see today?
This life don't last forever.
Please remember, we have just one life. Why can't we live for one another? This message is brought to you from Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
a better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
This president's failed. It's about the future of this country. We're going to take it back. We're going to take it back.
You asked us to vote you into that position so you can bring about that
solution.
So when you vote me, then you sleep. Let me see if I can take another phone call. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
What makes a policeman to be able to feed is the gun he's holding. They use their gun to extort money from people.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
No longer news that we are truly the voice of the people.
Am I not a slave in Nigeria?
I refuse if you are. If you are a slave.
Let's not get to that now. So the Nigerian constitution.
You spot the difference now?
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one with bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double that force. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double levels. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
If you did not know, there's reports coming from international media stating that at least 200 million Nigerians will be going into abject poverty as a result of the economic low and the issues confronting the country. If you also did not know, we have about 100 million Nigerians, 70 million of them, 70 million Nigerian youths who are graduates and unemployed. And if you also did not know, we have about a rough estimate, because they're yet to give a complete figure that's coming from the MBS. They have a rough estimate of at least 20 million Nigerians that are outside the country, that leave this country on a yearly basis and are outside the country doing so well for themselves in their area of expertise. We have a huge amount of Nigerians outside the country, whether doctors, whether lawyers, whether businessmen or women, whether nurses, whether journalists, whether whatever, any field you can think of, engineers, who actually are doing and acing their jobs so well and getting recognition for Nigeria. Representing Nigeria in a good light, I would say. And then in a country where we groom such good persons, we do not have good facilities, good plans, and good infrastructures that would enable them thrive in whatever field of endeavor or choice that they have. It was last year when Chris Ngige had come out to talk to us about the state of unemployment in the country. He mentioned that about 100 million Nigerians, youth, are unemployed and some unemployable, even more unemployable. Also, one time when the CEO and director of the IA, that's the IA Media Multimedia Academy, was interviewed, I think it was sometime last year, October last year, he mentioned that unemployed graduates in Nigeria do not have the skill set necessary for the 21st century. I'm trying to refresh your memory. Now that I have done that, you are welcome to the second half of today's hustle. It is 13 minutes gone past 2 o'clock and it's still Wealth Wilson here. And I told you before we went for the news update that when we come back, we'll be talking about unemployment. We'll be talking about Nigeria. And we'll be talking about the educational sector all in one. That's what I said we'll be talking about the second half of the show. A survey carried out some 2 years back showed that at least 57%, I think I'm being lenient here, because what I see here is that at least 70% of graduates from our tertiary institution in the country would come out to the labor market and remain unemployed, some unfit for the labor market. 77%. 77% of graduates released from schools, they've graduated. Some with first class, others with second class upper, a few with second class lower, some probably with third class or what have you, and whatever other classes they have. They would all come out into the labor market space. Some, lucky enough, may get jobs not in their field. Some, I don't know if I should still say lucky enough, some would come out and occupy positions that they do not deserve or do not merit because somebody somewhere pulled a few strings for them. Others would lurk the streets or the nook and cranny of this country, in their states, in their villages, wherever they would wind up going back to, with nothing, doing absolutely nothing. Now, let's take a minute now and think about all of these things I have mentioned. Why? Why is that the case? We also have a study research survey that has proven that at least half of the Nigerian school students' capacity when they leave this country have 80% more potential to make it big, to become successful, to become great, to make an impact in whatever field or choice of endeavor that they delve into. Well, the unfortunate, I don't want to use the word unfortunate. Now, while the remaining few who do not have the ability or the capacity to leave the country may likely languish in poverty, wind up becoming gangsters. Some of them doing menial jobs that won't help them do anything. So in the end of the day, they start nursing, bad ways as to make money and survive in this harsh economy. And then we would ask the question, why? Who is at fault? When is it going to change? When are we going to have a shift of narrative? When are we going to have graduates who graduate well from our tertiary institutions honored with good jobs? A lot of them filtered into, good sectors. Some of them allowed leadership positions so that they can use what they've, gathered so far from school to change their environment and Nigeria as a whole. When and how is that shift going to happen? You all know that ASU and the federal government always seem to be at loggerheads every time there is a strike. Once in a while, there is a long-term strike that causes a lot of these students to, stay at home doing nothing. No school, no jobs, because some of them will tell you that they cannot be employed because their potential employer would want to see their certificate. Where is your certificate? We can't give you this job. We have to see your paper. And then a lot of them wind up doing nothing. And we still have stories, we still have cases of, people coming out to share their thoughts on the curriculum and the style of academics in the country. We are lagging behind. Books that somebody read some 50 years ago are still books that somebody right now is still reading, and there is nothing new introduced into the curriculum, no extracurricular activities that would help boost skill set development among students, whether people's in nursery, primary school, or students from junior secondary to senior secondary to tertiary institutions. We don't have so many schools doing all of that. And we don't have our government, being proactive and hypersensitive to the fact that a lot of these schools release at least a huge number of graduates year in and out. So what are they going to be doing? Do we have a government that considers that? Do we have do we find ourselves in a place where we consider all of those? Do we have a government that, give funds to people within a certain age range, let's say 18 to 25, every month the government would, send in certain monies to your account so that you can use that to learn something or make something of yourself until you're able to get a much better job or you grow in your entrepreneurial activities or endeavors. Do we see that happen? Are we in a country that would allow that happen? Maybe no, maybe yes for some people, but the majority of the people, no. So why do we have this happening? And day in and out, we keep talking about the fact that the youth should rise up to the occasion. Demand for better. Our population is mind-blowingly increasing. Our population is quite overwhelming. I tell you, by the time we conduct a census and we know how many people we have in this country, it will shock you. So you better start bracing yourself now. Now we have more people than opportunities in the country. Shouldn't that have, be the reverse? Shouldn't the reverse be the case? Because the country we find ourselves in is a country with vast opportunities and resources. So we should have been able to at least cater for a majority of the young population. So how do we change the narrative? What is keeping us at this place where we are? What is keeping us here, not growing, not increasing? We have a lot of ICT inclined young persons. I have a couple of friends that are ICT freaks. A lot of them have traveled to China, some of them Indonesia, Malaysia, some of them to Cyprus, some of them to the US, to Canada, to the UK, and they're doing exceedingly well. Creating websites and what have you, coding stuff for people and making good money, selling whatever ideas they have, and they are doing so well legally. These are Nigerians. The same things they're doing out there, we need it here too. Now imagine if we have a lot of these people who are interested in ICT, as I mentioned, and technology-driven young Nigerians. Imagine we have a terrain that encourages that sector. We wouldn't be importing blenders into the country. Blenders, we wouldn't be. We wouldn't be importing phones into the country. We wouldn't be. Because the market is here. We have, do you know the population of young Nigerians in this country? The market is here. Even if the world does not patronize the market, it's here. It's here in Nigeria. We have the market. Enough. At least it's worth something if we really want to explore that. So how come, just how come we have all of these good options staring us in the face, gaping at us, looking at our state government, looking at our federal government, looking at the local government, looking at the people, but then we cannot explore any of them? And then the only time we hear that we want to explore any of these options, it will be on the media, because the last time I heard about the textile industry, it was sometime in 2019. Until date, I haven't heard or seen any kind of improvement on that. And yesterday I was surfing something. I don't know what I was pressing on my phone. And then I got to see some headline that states that China wears and what other country? What textiles from this other country are we patronizing in this country? Now, our normal Ankara, the textile industry is dying because production is at its all-time low. We do not have enough manpower. Funds are not put into that industry. So therefore, the small individuals decide that, okay, since there is little or nothing that we can do with this here in the country, let's import. And we are giving market audience to some other countries' textile industry. Their governments finance it. Those sectors, those industries are not left there to lie fallow. No, their government finances it. We're talking about agriculture. We have young people who can be innovative in ways that they can, make agriculture or improve agriculture in the country. We have young people who can think and decide, you know what, maybe this is what we can do for the agricultural sector. We need this instrument. We can be able to create this. We can be able to manufacture this. Oh, there is this manufacturing company. This is the idea. This is what we can do. This particular instrument would be able to harvest, plough, whatever. We can do an all-in-one. Like, we have countries that allow their citizens and their younger population come up with such good ideas. We have countries that have Nigerians amongst their research team for their country's development. Take, for instance, the US. In Canada, some of the best hands in their hospitals are all Nigerians. You want to check? Go and check. I mean, it was early this year when we mentioned that more doctors are leaving the country to Canada. More are planning, dreaming, hoping that one day they would have the opportunity to leave. And when they leave, they have the opportunity to leave and get there. They do so well. They improve the health sector there. They go to schools and they come up with good grades, and those schools sometimes retain them. They get scholarships. They get a lot of opportunities out there. Nigerians, if you check, there's little or no sector thriving in the US, Canada, and the UK that doesn't have at least a good number of Nigerians on the ground coming up with these good ideas, coming up with this good innovation. There is no way you would not find a Nigerian. But then the country that births all of these good heads, eggheads, does not harness the resource, the God-given manpower that we have in the country. Academics here in the country is a no-no. We have really smart young Nigerians who probably cannot go to school, number one. And if they go to school, they do not have enough facilities. The facilities are dilapidated. Our research institutions, facilities in science and, science-driven schools are not working, especially the federal or public schools. It doesn't work. They do more theories than they do practicals. Now, if that is the case, we still have our federal or our workers, that's the federal government, come out to tell us that these Nigerians cannot be employed. Even though we want to employ them, they don't have the skill sets. Do you provide them with the skill sets? Do you allow an environment that would allow them learn a skill and groom that skill and make money out of it? So when do we change this narrative of unemployment, young Nigerians unemployed, schools not doing their very best to educate and facilitate or equip these Nigerians so that when they come out, they are ready for the labor market and they are able to deliver because the opportunities are right there. The government has provided the opportunities. These sectors are up and running. We're looking for innovative, inventive ways to carry out, growth and development plans and strides in the country. So when do we change this narrative? Are we going to see a shift in that change? Are we going to see our intellectuals get rewarded, get jobs, live good lives, earn good salaries, have good insurance? Or are we going to keep letting our good hands, our excellent hands, leave the country? When do we end this? Like, what do we do to change this situation? And how do we do it? What should be cut off? What should be added? What should be considered? What is the question? I'm going to open the phone lines now so that we can all share our 2 cents on this particular matter. Unemployment, young Nigerians having little or nothing to do. Young Nigerians having to nurse the need to travel outside the country so that they can make it. They cannot grow in the political sphere. They cannot grow in the economic sphere. Academically, there is little or nothing that our schools can do to help us out. I mean, imagine how long the strike has lingered for a country that understands the need and the sensitivity of that sector, of that particular academics. Education should be priority. But imagine how long the strike has lingered. And this is not the first time. And God help us, it probably won't be the last time. So what do we do? How do we do it? What is wrong? What is really wrong? Like, where is the problem? And how do we fix that problem? Those are the questions we're asking today. Let me get to hear your opinion. Now we're not talking politics. Now we're not talking APC, PDP. We're talking us as the people. We're talking for our children. I'm pretty sure if you've not given birth, you have plans to give birth much later in your life. What is this the Nigeria you want for your kids? After putting them or seeing them through school, they come back and sit in your house and have nothing to do. Unless somebody somewhere, helps them out. Okay, I have one uncle. He has gotten slots for this particular company. That's why I am here. Oh, I studied engineering, but currently this is what I do. I haven't gotten the opportunity to show my skill. I have ideas on how to, invent this equipment and that instrument, but then there is no facility to encourage that. So what do we do? Let me get to hear from you now. 0817-00000951 or 0810-9510-951. I lost that one. 0817-00000951 or 0810-9510-951. Please send in your text messages, WhatsApp messages to the number 0701-9339-962. 95.1 FM. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon again. This is Emeka. I'm calling you from Owerri.
You're welcome, Emeka.
You see, I think last week I said something similar to what we are talking about now. I said, why, when we talk about diversification, why must it be farm? I said this, the system of this country that anybody is on top. Whatever the level is, mindset will go down to everybody. Farming is good. I don't know, farming is really okay. It's okay. I'm not saying it's so bad. But you have a different talent. You made mention of somebody that people that are good in technology now that have been flown abroad, making impact on their economy there. So this is what I said. Everybody has where he's talented on. Every day we saw on social media somebody that manufacture a car locally, somebody that manufacture aeroplanes, somebody that manufacture all these new inventions all over the world. We only talk of farm. Everybody is not talented into farm. You must not push everyone into farm. These are the areas that government should look into. If you know, this is why I love the white. If from child they know where you are destined to, what you are up to, what you are likely to be in future, they will channel you to that side. But in Nigeria, we bring everybody channel them to one direction, whether I love it or I don't like it. This is why when they live there, they go there. They first where their talent is. So what I'm saying is, instead of this farm, we should do other things. I said the other time, can't we export calculators? Can't say this phone I'm using, you can manufacture phone here. All it takes is the brain. We have the brain. Go to computer village in Lagos to see where these children, small children are using their brain to do things that even the Oyibo cannot do. These are the areas. So let us, although the system here is not even encouraging because we don't have light. So many things are wrong in Nigeria. So many things. But
all right, then, Emeka.
We should go into the technology wherever you have your own cause. Your government sponsor you, support you. You go move on that area.
Okay.
We're supposed to be exporting so many things outside the world.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Emeka. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's move on to the next person now. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, I'm Chris from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome, Chris.
Yeah, I want to say that government is not owing anybody. You understand?
Okay.
You cannot go to school. You come back again and see the crying of government. What do you want government to do for you again?
Now, you don't think the government should have enabled or created an enabling environment that would aid and encourage employment?
Is it not the environment that you finish your school? Which other environment do you want?
What environment do you finish your school? Now, when you come out of school, do you have
my father's school in the village? In those days, if they tell you the kind of school he attend, and at the end of the day, it became something. So, all this environment, I don't know what people really want government to do that will make them to excel. If you need to travel out to become whatever, you are free to do that.
When you travel out, when we talk about, can you hold on? When we talk about environment, do you know that good infrastructures are part of it? Do you know that a terrain that is secure and has a lot of investorship coming in is part of it? Now, the environment is what dictates whether or not a person or anything succeeds. So what are you saying?
What exactly do you want in that environment?
All right then. All right then. You seem not to be understanding. 95.1 FM. Okay, lost that one. Keep the calls coming in. Do you share that opinion anyway? That the government has done its best. It has given you school. Come out of school and make something of yourself. Or you think that the government owes you some more to do much more and make the environment much better for yourself. Let's get to have that conversation now. 95.1 FM.
Good day, my sister.
Good afternoon.
This is the American doc calling from Baichi.
You're welcome. Please go on.
The first issue here is that you should understand that there is corruption in this country. And corruption is a legitimate error in this country. All they are talking about now is brain drain. What has led to it is nepotism. Emphasis are not on professionalism. There is partiality everywhere. People don't place emphasis on open market apprenticeship. You see, Nigeria was part of the discovery of this drug to take care of COVID-19 recently. If we were to be here, we wouldn't have had that opportunity at all. Do you understand me? The whole problem is on the leadership. Once leadership fails, forget about it. We have to go to the drawing board. Placing people where they belong.
All right then.
Giving merit to where it should be.
Okay then.
Thank you, my sister.
Thank you too.
I can talk from this.
You're welcome. 95.1 FM.
Hello, West.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon. This is Hart calling from Awoda West.
You're welcome, Hart.
When you talk of unemployment, the causes of unemployment, number one is failure of government to give constant power supply to the country. A country that has no power supply, how can you think that such country will grow, that employment will be industry? You know, country with power supply, constant power supply, there will be industries, there will be industries. So all the failures come from federal government side. They are the failures of the whole thing that's causing unemployment in the country. So a country with where there is unemployment, you suffer.
Okay.
Government suffers, school suffers, it still suffers everywhere. Because government failed to supply power, to give power supply to the country. There's no power supply. The country needs power supply so that industry will be built, will be open, so that employment will be everywhere. Huh?
Okay then.
What kind of country is this?
All right,
How many years will have democracy in this country? How many years will practice democracy? How many years will have independence? We have not learned lesson. All our leaders bad. They give us bad administration. It's bad. We have bad government in this country. I'm telling you honestly.
Okay.
We should stop all this rubbish. All this rubbish system will take to rule this country. It's nonsense.
All right, Hart. Thank you for your contribution there. We have to listen to some other person, but here's the thing. I want to add a few things. All right. Now we're talking about the government, whether or not we're depending too much on the government, whether state, local, or even federal government. And the question is whether we're depending too much on the state, local, or federal government. Now, if we have a situation where the government has provided basic amenities, good transport network, good light, power supply, if we have a situation where security is at its utmost, our personnel in these, agencies are doing so well to reduce to the barest minimum insecurity and criminality around. If we have, all this conducive environment that allows for at least foreign and private investors to come in and, take up on one or two things that they want to do in the country, don't you think that pays equal attention to all sectors? Take, for instance, a young Nigerian that comes out and develops or invents a tractor and is begging for funds from the state government or the federal government to give funds so that they can make some more of this so that they can sell. If manufacturing had a lot of financial attention coming from all tiers of government, funds coming from tiers of government into that particular sector, don't you think that that's an enabling environment? Nobody's talking about the government coming to hold your hand and tell you, okay, go in here and ask for a job. No. But anyway, it's your opinion. Do you think that the Nigerian youth or the younger population is asking for too much from the government? Or the current situation of unemployment is as a result of the lackadaisical attitude of government officials on all fronts? Let's get to hear from you. 95.1 FM. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I think you would have explained what he means by government giving us environment. Let me let him know this. ASU has been on strike for about 9 months right now. The students for examinations, and these are people that have wasted about a semester
and more,
learning nothing at home, and then by the time they return, you are talking about examinations. So, what kind of graduate will you be chunking out of the Nigerian universities? And well, look at the Nigerians making wave abroad. Their fathers bring out their potentials, but the Nigerian environment kills potentials. The Nigerian environment kills ideas. The Nigerian environment destroys destinies. And when we talk about the environment, we are talking about the activities, the policies of government. And somebody saying, government are providing environment, what do you want government to do? Please, if we don't know the importance of a particular subject, let's not contribute. This is not a matter of opinion. Because we are talking to make sure that those in authorities, do the right thing.
All right, so
goodness sake. Yes, let me conclude this way, please. Now, the Nigerian Igbo guy who formulated the coronavirus vaccine, I mean, if that guy was in Nigeria here, he would not have achieved that feat. Today, the whole world is singing praise of that young man. We have, in Ebonyi State, we have a first-class mathematician, one of the best mathematicians in this country, who graduated with first class. Is farming in the village right now. And we are not talking about medicine farming. No.
All right,
we are talking about the knife and hoe is in the village right now farming. And then we are talking about environment when we are using sponsoring, empowering and motivating criminals and Boko Haram members.
All right, Abi. I get your point. Thank you.
Let's be careful.
Thank you very much. Let's listen to some other person. What do you think we can do? How do we change the narrative? 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, man.
Good afternoon.
See, when I hear people talk about government and not government, I was unfortunate to go to Germany, to study in Germany, a vocational course that was some years ago. So,
what's your name?
Studies, I'm Omorege, calling from South Road.
Okay.
So after my studies, I found out there are so many Germans in my school. Once we were already learning about this MDF and wood and all those, the government just provided industries for them to work immediately. Some of them even went into collected soft loans and they opened their factories. But we, as outsiders that came from outside Nigeria, because I went there on scholarship just for vocational studies, we were struggling there, but we still did well there. See, sometimes I just tell people that, look, our government is not even started. Most of their children are abroad. The guy that found that vaccine for coronavirus went to Yale. Go and check the budget for Yale every year, that university. Go and check the budget. Now look at Nigerian system. In Nigeria, you see, they are giving education 80-something billion. They will be giving House of Assembly members about 100-something billion. Giving Boko Haram, what they call them, repentance Boko Haram 100-something billion. How much are they funding education in Nigeria?
All right then.
So,
okay. Thank you very much. For those persons, I just saw a text message that said to read it. I don't know. Why do you keep telling me that I read the text message number very fast? The 0701 9339 962. Reliance, don't do that. Okay, again. 0701 9339 962. That's for the WhatsApp and SMS portal. I'll be reading some text messages here because I see a lot of them coming in and I don't want to go without reading any. This one says, wealth on the insecurity in the country. That was for the first half, right? This one says, okay. Sent another one, says, greetings. See, what we should do is land and more. we can tap into vast land for agricultural development and growth, then build industries, encourage our reward system. Our certificate has failed now. Due to what's due, I'm thinking that's what you want to say, due to what's happening. Henry from Umpolo community. Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. This one says, wealth, Nigerians must take their destiny into their hands. Nigerian government is neither ready to reduce unemployment nor is it ready to build manpower with its young population. You can't imagine Nigerians taking to be never do wells, go abroad and perform excellently. Most of those tagged militants went abroad and performed excellently. The government has deliberately refused to create enabling environment for the young ones to thrive. We ain't just ready to do anything good. Nigerians must rise up and do the needful now. Take your destiny into your hands. That's coming from Onyawaji Fine Face in Gotown, and he still tells me to reduce the length of talking. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. This one says, get your own broom. Okay. Nope, that's not for me. It says, my sister, you have said it all. The root cause of problem that we're facing in Nigeria is bad foundation, bad leadership, and bad governance. That's our problem in Nigeria. God, in his own wisdom, has given us what we need as humans, but greedy and evil mind is in our blood. That's coming from Thank God Atwebo. And let's quickly check what we have on the SMS portal. Says, good afternoon, presenter. What do you get from a country that doesn't have plan for future purposes? Nigerian government is not proactive in tackling the unemployment rate in Nigeria. Before you get to a shift in our narrative and bad leadership first, government should be innovative and create enabling environment for the citizens. That's coming from George. Thank you very much. This one says, good day, presenter. Coach Weme from Ndili. Nigerian government should see the creation of jobs as a priority because an idle man is the devil's workshop. Therefore, since most of the youths are jobless, they see crime as an alternative source of livelihood. The president should see every citizen as her subject and therefore carry everybody in her programs and not to rule in isolation to others. All right, this one says the old people working in the ministry do not go after their retirement. Hence, some of them change their age. Too bad. And that's coming from Moses in Omagwa. Says, my name is Imama Nagbam from Mba Eche in Rivers State. The issue is that our leaders are fighting for selfish interests. Look at the rate of unemployment. President Muhammad Buhari still went ahead to disengage Empire teachers for selfish interests. Okay. All right. He says, bring back Empire teachers and pay them. Okay. This one says, we should all stop the blame game. You are 100% responsible for your life. Nobody owes you anything. You have all you need to succeed. Do you know insecurity is a business? Poor infrastructure is a business. Lack of power is a business. How do you want to? Okay. All right. That's coming from CY in LMA. Entirely his opinion, and every other person that has contributed as well. This one says, good day, presenter. I'm Chidi Ebele. I need to shift our mindset from consumption to production. When we do our best with every given opportunity in developing the country, also when we put an end to propaganda. Right now, even at the federal level, massive corruption, nepotism, and tribal sentiments have dominated the day. Our leaders are not helping matters, always selfish. Decentralized power and development. Do not focus only on one region. Okay. This one says, good afternoon, Wealth. Why don't you like to read your SMS? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Says, why don't you like to read my SMS? But nonetheless, I will leave you to... All right. I'm sorry. I just read your message and it's just a complaint. I'm sorry. Send a message with regards to what I'm saying and I would do well to read it. I've looked at your phone number. I'll read your message. This one says, we need a curriculum change, improve funding of education beyond the UNESCO 26% benchmark. That's coming from Austin Ikubo. This one says, good day, presenter. Does Allah July Mohammed see the unemployment bedeviling the land? I don't know if he sees it. Why are you asking me? You should ask him. All right, we're going back to the phone lines. What do you think about the rate of unemployment in the country? Are we too dependent on the government, or the government is doing little or nothing to change the situation? Let me get to hear from you. 95.1 FM. Lost that one. And yet again, I'm having issues with the phone lines. Do well to keep the calls coming in. We have about 10 minutes or 9 minutes because Reliance is already here. I'm sure he will not want to take over immediately. Keep the calls coming in. 0817 00951 or 0810 951. Text messages and WhatsApp messages to the number 0701 9339 962. 95.1 FM. Anybody there?
Yeah, well,
Good afternoon. Oh dear. Why is this happening? Hold on. Even the phone lines are having issues. Okay, let me try one last time. Okay, 95.1 FM.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hello? Good afternoon, Wealth.
Yes.
Is that Wealth?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Wealth.
Good afternoon. Mazi, our David Carlo.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. You see, when I tell you that the colonial masters are behind my error up till this day, maybe you don't understand me.
No, I understand you. Please don't give me a lecture on the colonial masters now. Talk to me about what we can do to change the situation.
Yes. That is where I'm going. When I was in Cotonou, 1996, I understand that all university graduates will go to or travel. They have a free visa by their colonial master in France to do their own IT in France. Some of them, by opportunity, sell out their own visa and manage their own man-made work. But in Nigeria's situation, what have they provided for us in the colonial masters, passing it to the present-time politician so that we can emulate? Because I understand very well that these same colonial masters created free education for these political masters that are here.
Now that we have unshackled ourselves from colonialization and imperialization and all of that, and now we have a sovereign government that allows for us to be able to help ourselves within the country, providing the basic necessities for all to thrive. Why can't we do that ourselves?
Because of the black man greediness that is in him, especially in Nigeria.
So it is our fault now.
To give it to instead of them to give it to the common man, like this skills accusation they used to do freely, they ought to provide it each and every university, both for the youth corpus, so that when they come out, even though you want to go for welding or any parastatal of work, carpentry, mechanic, electrician, driver, anyone at all, you have been already been given that free as a lecturer or an IT, free, without 1 naira. But the greediness in the political masters of Nigeria, that is what is keeping us in this shackle of devil.
All right, then.
Tomorrow, because it can never work. These people are worse than neo-colonialism. That is why it can, instead of them to give it to the common man, they rather prefer it to their own family members. That is why it can never work. The only solution is to remain referendum by our David Carlo. Thank you very much.
All right, entirely your opinion. It can never work. That is your thoughts. Because I'm thinking that the reason why we're saying this is to make it work, isn't it? So let's not change that narrative, all right? Keep the calls coming in. I'll be reading some more text messages because there's a whole lot of them here. But I need to take about 2 calls and then we call it a wrap. 95.1 FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Babatunde is my name.
You're welcome, Babatunde. Okay. All right. Sorry. Call back if you can. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good afternoon. Right.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Chris Opis. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we should not blame ourselves. Let me blame it on our leaders. You see why this thing that you are saying now will not work in this country. Look at the type of graduates that our schools are producing. A graduate that you can go to bank to open a bank account, just like for my own side now. I know how I am in my own education field. You meet a graduate will ask you to spell something for her or for him. So, and they look at the type of strike. 1 month, somebody will get an admission. 1 month, you will stay 2 years in the house. The next year, you graduated from the university. So which office do you think that you are going to work? Then the politicians are supposed to put the education sector in proper check. Their children are no longer schooling here. Consult a census. Tell me how many of the politicians, our leaders, their children are studying in Nigeria here. So how can they put the education sector in order? That is the problem. Unless they make a law that any politician that are working in Nigeria, their children or your family are not schooling here, there is nothing for you. But for that, they prefer to send your children abroad. But in our own education system here, they have killed it. Look at them. They don't even make use of our doctors. They don't trust them. Well, you can give what you have. All of them, they know what they are doing.
Chris, do you think that we've been too dependent on the government? I mean, every time we talk about this, we always say that the government doesn't pay too much attention to us and improving the situation on ground, right?
Yes,
now, since we know this already, are we doing anything within ourselves, amongst ourselves, to change the narrative?
Yes, I am today. I start waiting for government since I finished my secondary school and the other thing. I don't know, up to now I'm about 30-something years. So when we government to give me job, and instead of them to give me job, the small place that I opened, that was dustbin before I opened, you now see government coming to demand me.
My both sides is like Nigerians have been fighting. They have been very, very patient. They have been very, very understanding. The top of leaders we have, they are standing. They are a group of people. They are not ready to help anybody who try to speak the right way. They always want to listen when there is problem. And even if they come in, they are coming in with politics. All what they know is how to keep yourself down. They cannot continue to be Nigeria. And my prayer for them is that they will change so that calamity that is on the way will not be fell on Nigeria. That is what I have.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah. You see what is happening in this country.
What's your name first off?
Mr. Odenibo.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah. You see our politicians. They send their children abroad. They come here. They see the school system. They belittle it. They never allow it to grow. Like you there now making your effort in the studio there. What you're supposed to earn in a month is not what what they are giving you right now. And you see you are managing yourself. There are other ones who cannot see where to say every morning they go there and even to clean ground. And at the end of the day, they get something. They will not allow it. Rather, they will drink water from abroad. They will buy everything from abroad, even the clothes from abroad. No Tesla, no light, no anything. These are the leaders supposed to be blamed.
Okay,
they are the people who are putting this country in anarchy.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. We don't have time. I promised I was going to read the messages within 1 minute. This one says, good day, Wealth. Our leaders are the problem of this nation. Greed and ignorance will not make the system work unless they change. This one says, good afternoon, Wealth. I studied economics in the university. I could not get a befitting job, so I resorted into learning how to operate truck. What a country. That's coming from Taiwo. At least, thank God you have a skill set to help yourself. This one says, Nigeria's unemployment will continue until governments change their mind from bad to good. Simple. And that's coming from Godwin in Oyibo. This one says, I hope the youth of this nation is seeing the misleading of our leaders. Okay, quickly to the WhatsApp portal. Quickly. Okay, I think I did justice to the WhatsApp portal already, but thank you very much to everybody who's called in, everybody who sent in their text messages, WhatsApp messages. I really appreciate this show. Wouldn't have been this interesting if you did not contribute, and I hope that little by little we record progress in the development and improvement of the state of affairs in this country. It was Wealth Wilson here to stay tuned as today's Sports Live comes up next with wisdom, Obina, and reliable reliance.
Let's talk football. Let's talk football.
What a devastating strike!
Football is a leisure game.
Sports is actually my job.
Football is boring.
That's not true. It's way more important than that.
What a wonderful goal! Fantastic strike!
As far as I'm concerned, sports is all about passion.
Sports Attack, weekdays 7:30 a.m. and today's Sports Live 3 p.m. weekends 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
For all you need to know in the world of sports, leave the dial on Today 95.1 FM.
Hello, my name is Kanwanko aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
Fine afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Sports Live. It's the Friday edition, and my name is Wisdom Obina. And in case you're not used to Fridays, a lot is usually on the menu. Yes, we have first those who are aspiring to get to that status called the greatest. Zamalek and Al Ahly, the greatest rivalry in African football, if you ask me. And they will be locking horns tonight in the CAF Champions League final. Also, this argument started after the great, legendary Armando Maradona died on the 25th of November. Emmanuel Amunike says Maradona and Pelé are the two greatest footballers of all time. And I'm asking you, I said it yesterday, I would ask it today. Who would you pick if there were only two slots for the greatest footballers of all time? Knowing that we have Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, would you pick Pelé and Maradona like Emmanuel Amunike? Also, the Europa League and, of course, the games to expect this weekend. Arsenal were victorious yesterday. Folarin Balogun, Nigerian-born Englishman, was on the score sheet too for the Arsenal side. And, of course, the big games to expect both in the English Premier League, the Spanish La Liga, and all the other major leagues in Europe. I'm not alone in the building. I'm not working alone today. I have the classical gentleman, Reliable Reliance. Reliance, welcome to the show.
Wisdom, it pains me that there will be a Champions League final this evening. I think somewhere around 8 o'clock. But trust me, if you get into the street and ask people about it, virtually no one knows about it.
The question we ask you is which Champions League?
Like, it pains me
because the one they know has been played in June.
It bites me, it irks me, it pains me a lot. Zamalek, Al Ahly, when you're talking about rivalry in African club football, it can't get better than that too. But it's great to be here.
Chidubem Njoku joins us. Chidubem, welcome.
Oh no, don't mind me. I'm not so happy about it as well. That's why I had to even nose into Reliance's conversation earlier, but it's sad. That's why we keep talking about African football and wanting it to move to the next level. Hopefully the next elections will provide us someone better than what we have right now. But it's good to be here. It's not all about lamentations like we started the show with. There's a whole lot to talk about. Armando Maradona, the man is late, but we can just not stop talking about the man. Had a great life, and of course the talks about greatest of all times will always be here.
All right, and well, quickly, let's just go into the big stories.
Magic System, Red One, Shawty.
All right, and quickly we start off with CAF now. The Champions League final, just in case you're not aware of who these two teams are, because, I mean, I won't be surprised if you don't even know them. It's the way it is these days. Zamalek and Al Ahly are two Egyptian clubs. It was an all-northern affair. Both in the Champions League, yes, the final and in the semi-final, both in the Champions League and in the Confederations Cup, we saw similar things. And well, they are here, and the big deal has always been, where would it be played if the fans would be allowed? Because these two clubs have one of the greatest rivalries in all of world football. The followership of football in Egypt is not exactly like we see in some other parts of Africa, where fans don't really pay attention to what goes on with some of their clubs. But let me just throw it open to the guys. Reliance, starting with you. Al Ahly, Zamalek. We know Al Ahly are the bigger boys when it comes to successes on the continent. But where do you see the pendulum swinging tonight?
Well, in as much as I don't like doing direct predictions on football matches, when you look at my records of predictions, always terrible. I think at this point, it's clear that for me, though, that it might be an Al Ahly affair. They are the bigger boys in terms of them. There have been 239 meetings between these two. Of course, tonight we will make it the 239th meeting between Al Ahly and Zamalek. And Al Ahly, they are blessed with a coach who has won it before. 2016, recall what Pitso Mozimane did with Momoli Sundowns of South Africa. They came from behind, for the records, to pick the Champions League that season. A certain club was thrown away for breaching regulations, and Mameli Sundowns were called to fill in that gap, and they eventually get to win the Champions League that season. And Pitso Mozimane was the man on the touchline for Mameli Sundowns. 2 months ago, he was signing to Al Ahly, and he has taken the team to the Champions League finals. Now, set to face Al Ahly, Zamalek, I beg your pardon. So, the records at this point favor Al Ahly. They are the bigger boys, of course. You rightly put that out, that they are the bigger boys in terms of the personnel they have in their ranks. Of course, majority of them are home-based players, but they have more experiences when you compare them to the Zamalek side, who it's not like Zamalek have not won the Champions League before, but they are just here. And you want to look at past records, you want to look at achievements, recent times, Al Ahly will always have the upper hands against Zamalek. So I think it's going to be
on every side. Champions League, Al Ahly are record winners.
So I think it's going to be a Champions League for Al Ahly to lose. If you also look at the semi-final, I think Al Ahly are the ones that demolished a team 5.
What Casablanca? I mean, in the semi-finals.
Yeah, in the semi-finals.
I think 3-1 was, yes, over 2 legs.
Over 2 legs,
yes.
5-1. So they've been brilliant coming into this one. And again, they have a manager that knows how to win it. Pitso Mozimane, like I mentioned, won it 2016 for Mameli Sundowns, the South African side. And if he wins tonight, he will become only the third manager to win the Champions League for 2 different countries. There have been 2 previous winners who have done that. So Al Ahly, on paper now, that's the word we always employ each time we are talking about possibilities in football or in sport. So on paper, Al Ahly looks like the better side, and I think they might eventually clinch it.
Chidubem, are you of a different opinion?
Not particularly. I'll just say that when it comes to games like this, it's about the rivalry and sometimes form, or even most times. Okay, sometimes now form is thrown out of the window because it's all about the firepower and who is hungrier on the evening or on the afternoon. Now it's evening now, 8 o'clock. So I think it's going to boil down to who needs it more. Al Ahly definitely have got all the history and pedigree. It's not like Zamalek has so far off the mark. I think they've got 6 Champions League trophies in Yakiti. I think Al Ahly has 8 or so thereabout. I'll confirm that. But I think it's a close rivalry. Not so much of a difference. Feels like maybe Ayimba and Rangers in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Yes, that disparity is there when it comes to who has won more titles as per the Professional Football League. But come on, when you go to the FA Cups and all, Rangers will stand heads and shoulders above. So I think it's a close rivalry between Zamalek and Al Ahly. So it's going to play out that way. But one thing that is very important, as it is with all derbies, it's about the hunger on the evening, not necessarily about the form of the guys. Because when it comes to derbies, that form that people hold so dear is shown out the window. It's all about playing football. The jibes, the fights, the Unfortunately, the fans are not going to be there in the numbers to support their teams. That would have been a whole different atmosphere altogether. So at this point, it might water down the beauty of what would have expected from such a feisty derby. But I think it should live up to a fine encounter, because an encounter between both teams will always build up to something good. But I'm very disappointed that the publicity has not gone the way we should have expected. Even as a journalist, sometimes you even forget that there's a final like this.
Trust
it's a
me,
shame.
there are so many sport journalists, I can tell you for a fact, that have no idea that it's going to be a Champions League final tonight.
I tell you, it's really crazy. And the fact that we even have an ongoing Champions League, the new one is about to start, and we are just playing the final.
Organization is a problem.
It's Africa. Funny things happen. But let's not dwell on the problems. We focus on the game tonight and try to see the good out of it.
All right. I'm sure we'll get to talk about our teams too, who are going to be on the continent, the likes of Enyimba Rangers and Enyimba Rivers United, rather, and Kano Pillars and Plateau United, who would be involved in different encounters this weekend. Maybe tomorrow we'll have more time for that. But let's move on and talk about Diego Armando Maradona. All right, ex-Super Eagles forward Emmanuel Amunike, amongst others, has mourned the passing away of football icon Diego Armando Maradona. The death of Maradona, one of football's most iconic figures, was confirmed on November 25th by the Argentine Football Association, which posted a short message on its social media platform.
And then playing against Argentina, like I said earlier, it's like a surprise, somebody that you have watched as a kid, and now you are standing toe-to-toe with him. You are going to play against him in the field of play. But unfortunately, in that game, it shows you what Maradona is all about. It shows you whom he is. When you see Maradona, he commands respect. I remember when we were lining up before we moved into the field, he came out, a very young guy, very short guy. He's not big, but when he talks, when his presence, command respect. This is Maradona.
Amunike, who starred for Barcelona amongst other European teams, was asked to name two of his greatest players of all time, and he insists that Maradona and Pelé are the greatest of all time. And he also added his reasons.
Well, I think I will go for Maradona. Why I'm going for Maradona and Pelé, I think, to be very honest, I also experienced it during the early 90s. The way the players are being protected in modern football now, during the time of Maradona and Pelé, I think such is not existing. You have where people can, tackle you from the knee. But such things are now, in modern football now, are no longer existing. And there's a whole lot of protection for the new generation, which is good, which is part of the football that is evolving. And people are adapting to the changes that the game is coming up with. But of course, when we talk about football, you talk about Maradona, you talk about Pelé. And then before you start talking about Messi and Ronaldo.
All right, guys, quickly, let me get your thoughts. Starting with you, Chidubem. Who are your two greatest players of all time? Let me not beat around the bush.
Okay, I'll say, I keep saying it anywhere I go that when you ask me about greatest players of all time, I'm always biased to one player, the Delima Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo, as Jose Mourinho called him. He's a player that I love so much, and permit me to be biased about him because I feel injury, made us not see a lot about that man Ronaldo. If you saw that 2002 World Cup, I think it encapsulates everything that that man is. Ronaldo now, the real one, Delima. He came in injured.
So the other one is the fake one.
No, well, I'm just quote. I'm not the one that said it. It's Jose Mourinho that said it. But he was everything in football. I watched his size. When I saw his size, at some point I was like, how can a player this big play football this well? Because football, then you were expected to be of a particular size. Don't look too plumpy and look weighty. But Ronaldo was actually heavy. He looked heavy, and he was so fast. He was quick as lightning. He left defenders for dead. He was not scared of a defender. It was not all about the goals back then, though, because these days everybody's crazy about goals, and you can understand why. There are statistics for virtually everything. Who throws the ball, who key passes made, and everything has a stat. And players are crazy about stats these days, they are more concentrated on breaking those stats or making new records than they are on expressing themselves on the pitch. That's why you rarely see expressive footballers these days. And I'm a fan of expressive footballers. Reason I love Diego Armando Maradona, I didn't watch him a lot, so to speak, but I've seen videos, I've seen clips and highlights. He's a player that expressed himself so much on the field of play. Ronaldinho is another of that kind. Play football, enjoy yourself on the pitch. Johan Cruyff was the goal scorer as well. He scored lots of goals, but Ronaldo encapsulated everything. He was skillful. He would leave you for dead. I mean, as late as 2006, Kingston of Ghana. I'm sure he has a lot of stories to tell about that man, Ronaldo. Ronaldo actually gave him a leg, what we call a leg over, a step over, right in his own 18-yard box. The man sat down. He left him for dead. A goalkeeper, the temerity a striker would have to dribble a goalkeeper before scoring the goal. That was Ronaldo for you. He was not scared of going at defenders, and he was confident with the ball. He was fast. He could score goals, and he scored lots of goals. Even at that stage, when scoring goals was not so much of a flux, nobody really thought too much about scoring goals. But these days, the records are always there. They are always in your face. That's the thing about it. The fact that the records are always in your face, and journalists keep reminding you of these records, somehow in your subconscious, you just keep beating it. So like I said, allow me to be biased about Delima Ronaldo. Number one, not in any particular order, but I'll pick him there. And of course, Diego Armando Maradona. But I have to give credit to Pele as well. That, like I said, I have to be biased with Ronaldo. But aside that bias, for me, I still lean towards Pele and Ronaldo and Maradona, because of what they did as individuals, especially Maradona. Maradona single-handedly, I can say that, won Argentina the 1986 World Cup.
Go to Napoli also.
It was all about Maradona. Even in Napoli, for Lionel Messi, at the peak of Barca's power, it was all about the Bermuda Triangle, as they called it then. Messi, Iniesta, and Xavi. So it was not just about Messi, but it was about the brilliance of the La Masia, which encapsulated the brilliance of Messi as well. So Messi shone among a million stars. But for Maradona, it was Maradona among not so many shining stars. Exactly. It was Maradona and the others. So that's something special. Even for Cristiano Ronaldo, he won the Euros, but he was not the shining star. I'm sorry. There were shining stars. Renato Sanchez.
He didn't play.
He didn't play in the finals.
Renato Sanchez was the shining star. In the World Cup, yes, he scores goals. He has games where he single-handedly wins games for the team. But
the tournament,
like what Diego Forlan was for Uruguay in 2010, I think. What say James Rodriguez was for Colombia before he went to Real Madrid. Individual performances. What Zidane did for France in 2006. That is what Maradona did for Argentina. That's why the Argentinians respect him a lot more than Lionel Messi, because they felt he's not been able to carry the Argentine team the way that Maradona did. And Pele also won 3 World Cups. I mean, how many players can boast of that? None. He won 3 World Cups, and he was instrumental in doing that. So I think on that basis, and of course, they also did well for their respective clubs. The fact that it's an individual thing now, not about the records, what you've won, how many Ballon d'Ors and all. It's about your influence on a team, both for club and country. And I think Maradona stands tall in that list for me.
Okay, so Maradona and Delima Ronaldo for Chidubem. Reliance, quickly.
Well, the thing is, Maradona, I think, played active football until 1997 I think that's when he called it quits for Boca Juniors. I'm trying to recall how old I was in 1997 and how exposed was the Argentine.
If you recall, you not tell us.
How exposed, was the Argentine league as at that time. Did we get to see Maradona then for Boca Juniors? But as in 1993, he left Sevilla. He had played for Napoli before them. I'm still trying to recall how old I was in 1993. So basically, for the point I'm driving at is for Diego Armando Maradona. It has all been about history and what he has done, and possibly a couple of clips for me as a person that I've seen. And of course, those clips, those facts are there to prove, and the stories are not lie, they're not false, right? I've listened to a couple of persons talk about Diego Armando Maradona. It's people who watch him actively, all his achievements and all of that. And then for Pele, I'm not even sure I don't know if my mom got married to my dad when Pele was very active, but be that as it may, 3 World Cups, I mean, it speaks volume. It's something that, I don't know, I'm not sure there's any player that can boast of that for Pele.
Nobody.
They all talks about the 1,000 goals and all that. So these guys played football in a generation which I wouldn't describe as my own generation. So I didn't get to see much of them. And for the sole reason that these guys are out of football, and many of the things they did as footballers, Maradona now leads, still speak volume each time you want to discuss the history of football or the greatest of all time. I think I'm going to stick with them. I've seen Lionel Messi play. I've seen Cristiano Ronaldo play. The another person I would have loved to add to that equation for me would be, what's his name now? Ronaldinho of Brazil. Chidubem talked about players that have the freedom to do whatever they want with football, with the ball. I mean, there's something called comprehensiveness in football. It gets to dribble, you are there. It gets to understanding when to release pass, when to do all this stuff, you are there.
Technical ability, yeah.
You know, I think Ronaldinho in my own generation is one of those persons I will point at. He won the World Cup. All right, so I would love to add Ronaldinho. Now, I don't want to rate Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo at this point in any level when talking about greatest footballer of all time. You know why? Because they are still playing. They are still active in the game. So you cannot really tell how far they will go in the next 2-3 years. You're not sure of when they are going to retire from football. All right? They've had tremendous achievements, Lionel Messi and Ronaldo and Cristiano Ronaldo. But are they going to add to it? That is a question that could not be answered at this point. So that's why each time I get to answer a question concerning who's the greatest footballer of all time, I try to keep Lionel Messi and Ronaldinho aside, apart from away from that equation, because they are still active. Let me talk about those that grace the world of football.
Okay.
They've done all they can do. They've retired. So I'm going to stick with Pele and Maradona.
Wisdom,
and maybe ask Ronaldinho.
I just had one quick thought in my head. If we had Maradona and Pele play at the same time, like we had Ronaldo and Messi, I think we'd have had a proper madness, something in a bigger, quantity, bigger, whatever you want to put it, than we are seeing with Ronaldo and Messi. No disrespect to them, they are fantastic players in their own right. I think Messi is one of the most gifted footballers we've seen. But come on, the fact that he had a Ronaldo to ginger him, pushed the both players to their limits. That's what we didn't see of Maradona and Pele, because they played in different dispensations.
Yeah. All right. I promised I would always also give my own. So for me, it's Pele, it's Ronaldinho, and Maradona.
You know, go past that.
0817-0000951.
Ronaldinho have to be there somewhere.
0810-951-0951. I'll take it again. 0817-0000951. 0810-951-0951. For the text message portal is 0701 9339 962. I'll take it again. 0701 9339 962. On Twitter, we are Today FM 951 at Today FM 951. You can copy me. My handle is at wisdom_OB. Reliance is here. His handle is at reliable. We'll be reading your tweets real time here on the show. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm struggling to hear. We are struggling to hear. Do call us back if you can. Okay, we lost that call. This one on the text message portal says, I'm Enes from Uji. You're saying Messi had Iniesta and Xavi. That Napoli team had World Cup winners, even had 3 players that were Italian league, even some great Brazilians. So it was not Maradona and others. Even the 1986 World Cup team had many 78 World Cup winners. For me, it's number 1, Messi. 2 is the real Ronaldo and Maradona. Most of Pele's WC goals were audio goals. Enes from Uji. Okay, today's Sports Live. Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Shadrach Amadi.
Shadrach, let's hear you.
Yes, first of all, my heart goes to Maradona. Let me go let it perfect.
Amen.
So I want to know, Pele, how many World Cups did he play? And Maradona, how many World Cups did he play?
I know Maradona played in 3 World Cups and won 1. Pele won 3 World Cups. I'll confirm. I think it's about 4 in total.
Okay. So to me, I give it to Pele and secondly Maradona.
Okay, thank you so much. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Faith, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good afternoon to Reliance and Citizen.
Good afternoon.
Greetings to you, Faith.
Thank you. About picking the 2 greatest of all time, I think Citizen will not only be the biased one here. I'm going to pick Pele and Messi for my 2 greatest of all time.
So who is the biased pick?
Pele and Messi.
Yes.
Okay.
What did you say, Citizen?
I said who is the biased pick?
You.
Okay. Thank you so much, Faith. But for her, it's Pele and Messi. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you.
I'm Promise, calling from Millennium.
Promise, go ahead.
Yes. When we talk of football, I watch this people. I mean, I watched Maradona live when he was active playing, and I remember the '86 World Cup. After that infamous goal against England, he came back to neutralize the whole thing by sending all the English players to one side and ran and even dribble the goalkeeper. I think
Exactly.
there's no player that has done that.
No, Messi has done that actually.
Forget about Messi.
But not to worry. Promise. Just stick to your picks. I think we dealt with Maradona yesterday. Who are your 2 greatest players of all time?
I'm talking of Maradona the first. That is my.
Okay.
Have to pick
Maradona is number 1. Okay.
Yes. I can also pick Pele. I didn't watch Pele playing, but I've been hearing. But remember that these 2 players played different eras.
Yeah.
And as at the time Pele was playing, the football has not been so widely represented by all the continents. It was not as during
big
the period of
as it is now.
Yes. So it was narrow. The first World Cup, how many countries? 3 countries, and they call it World Cup.
All right, we've gotten your thoughts. Thank you so much. We need to hear from other callers. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Afternoon, brother. What's up?
We are good. Your name and where you're calling us from?
All right. My name is Humble. I'm calling from Orazi.
Humble, go ahead.
I think as a footballer too, also too, I'm near a footballer. When I want to ask, because it's not been given to the guy he plays, I think it's need to recommend him as the best player to the whole world.
Humble, we are really struggling to hear you, but you can just give us the 2 names when it comes to your greatest players.
Okay. My greatest players I'm seeing now, I'm really seeing these guys, Messi and Ronaldo.
All right, Messi and Ronaldo. Thank you so much, Humble. We are really struggling to hear you, but Messi and Ronaldo, we got that. Okay. Let's get back to the message. Okay, the phone line's back again. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Albert. Welcome. Let's hear you. Your 2 greatest players of all time.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for people to understand. And based on the young ones who are just growing up, they didn't know it's Maradona. It's a man who commands respect in the pitch. It's a calculating machine. You know, if you watch Maradona, there's something I want you to do. I don't know. I want to ask you a question. Sorry, is your dad alive?
Just go on with your
Please go on with the 2 greatest players. You're even taking more time. You just have a minute, Albert.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'll go take Maradona. It's a calculating machine. You understand? It's a man who has everything up there. But for people who don't know him, I think they make a lot. It makes football look easy.
I think we spelled that out yesterday. Yeah. Just pick your 2 greatest players, Albert. Please.
I think I will go for him. Maradona and Pele. But if it is Pele, I think I'll go for Eusebio.
Okay. Thank you so much. Eusebio of Portugal. All right, thank you so much, Albert, for your thoughts. And we get to the message portal. This one says, my greatest players are Pele and Ukocha Odo from Iche. Matthew Kalio says, greetings to the sports crew. For any reason, Pele can never be compared to Maradona and others. The trio of Maradona, Messi, and CR7, they have to win 4 senior FIFA World Cups to beat Pele. And this is an impossible feat they can attain. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Wisdom. Yes, my name is Pastor Mike. I'm calling from Ala.
All right, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, what I have to say, the football world have lost an icon in the person of Diego Armando Maradona. What a player Diego was. Well, it happened. We have lost, as a day, so less in the bosom of the Most High.
Amen. So, who are your two greatest players of all time, Pastor Mike?
The greatest player of our time, the ones that we are seeing now, we doesn't have that opportunity to
see the guys from the past. Okay, so for you, it's Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah, for now,
all right, thank you so much, Pastor Mike, for your thoughts. Well, let's move on to the Europa League. We'll come back to the phone lines in a bit. All right, a quick look at the major results. Molde were beaten by Arsenal at home, 3-0. Goals from the likes of Folarin, Balogun, Reece Nelson, and Nicolas Pepe. All the goals were scored in the second half, by the way. Also, Bayer Leverkusen did beat Hapoel Beersheva 4-1. CFR Cluj were beaten by Roma 2-0. And getting to... Okay. I wanted to get the goal scorers for that particular one. But, all right, let me continue with what the results were. Nice did lose to Slavia Prague 3-1. Rangers did play at a 2-draw with Benfica. Standard Liège did beat Lech Poznan 2-1. Granada did beat Omonia Nicosia 2-1. SSC Napoli did beat Rijeka 2-0. And Leicester City played at a 3-draw with SC Braga. Lille and AC Milan played at a 1-0 draw. Villarreal did beat Maccabi Tel Aviv, or did play at a 1-0 draw rather with Maccabi Tel Aviv. 1-1 it ended. Tottenham Hotspur, they beat Ludogorets 4-0. It ended. And CSKA Moscow played at a goalless draw with Feyenoord. And to the games to expect this weekend in the English Premier League. All right, Crystal Palace will take on Newcastle United 9 p.m. tonight. Brighton will take on Liverpool tomorrow 1:30. The early kickoff. Manchester City would also come up against Burnley. Everton will be up against Leeds United. West Brom will take on Sheffield United. Southampton will be up against Manchester United. Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal will be up against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I start with you, Reliance, your pick of the bunch in the Premier League.
Well, it doesn't get bigger than Chelsea, Tottenham. We have Frank Lampard once again going against his former boss. Jose Mourinho was once the coach of Chelsea, and he coached Frank Lampard as a player. I think the last time they met was It was Jose Mourinho who came off victorious, if my memory serves me correctly. So that should be it. Chelsea against Tottenham Hotspur. Both of them seem to be in form. Wisdom for Chelsea. They've managed a couple of wins. For Tottenham Hotspur, also a couple of wins. The brilliance in the combination between Son Heung-min and Harry Kane, they keep on thriving and also combining to get goals for Tottenham Hotspur. The left backs for Tottenham Hotspur at the same time, likes of Sergio Reguilon, also doing great things for Tottenham as well. You look at Chelsea team, they were able to manage victory in their last, was that management? Well, I don't think that was management, but they were able to get the results in their last Premier League encounter where I think Tom Abraham scored and who else scored?
Timo
Werner. No, he didn't. Did he score? I think he didn't score. If I could remember correctly,
He had an assist in that game.
He had an assist. He was the soul of that match. I could recall. He was the soul of that match. He scored. But he scored, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so it's gonna be a blistering encounter to watch out for between Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea. That should be the highest match of the weekend in the Premier League, that is.
Shout out to Arsenal, Wolverhampton Wanderers as well.
Timo didn't score in the last game, by the way.
He didn't score? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
It was
He did score, yeah.
Federico Fernandez's own goal and Tammy
He
Abraham.
had an assist
Mhm,
in that
for Tammy.
match. Yeah,
Tammy.
for
Okay,
Tammy.
okay,
Mhm.
okay. He missed a lot. Maybe that's why.
Yeah,
he
he missed
scored.
a lot. He missed a lot.
I think Arsenal Wolves should be a game to watch out for. They've Arsenal now managed the victory in the Europa League yesterday. Quite a resounding one, 3-0, a repeat of what happened in the other leg. So we want to see what Arteta will be able to do this time around. He's without a win in 4 games in the Premier League, and he should be able to fancy his chances against Wolverhampton Wanderers. A tough nut to crack any day, anytime.
In Spain, Real Valladolid will be up against Levante later today. Elche will take on Cadiz. It will be Valencia up against Atletico Madrid. SD Huesca will take on Sevilla. Real Madrid will be up against Deportivo Alaves. On Sunday, we'll see Barcelona come up against Osasuna. Getafe will take on Athletic Bilbao. Celta Vigo will be up against Granada. And Real Sociedad will take on Villarreal. Okay, and in the Italian Serie A, we'll have Sassuolo coming up against Inter Milan, Benevento up against Juventus, Atalanta will take on Hellas Verona, Lazio will be up against Udinese, AC Milan Fiorentina, Bologna versus Crotone, Cagliari Spezia, SSC Napoli Roma. In Germany, Wolfsburg Werder Bremen, Augsburg Freiburg, Borussia Dortmund FC Cologne, Rasenball Sport Leipzig will take on Arminia Bielefeld. Union Berlin will be up against Eintracht Frankfurt. VfB Stuttgart to take on Bayern Munich. Borussia Mönchengladbach will be up against Schalke 04. Bayer Leverkusen will take on Hertha Berlin, and Mainz 05 will be up against Hoffenheim. In France, Strasbourg will be up against Rennes. Marseille will take on Nantes. PSG will be up against Bordeaux. Lyon will take on Rennes. Lens will be up against Angers. Lorient will take on Montpellier. Metz will be up against Brest, and Monaco will take on Nîmes. Nice will be up against Dijon, and Saint-Etienne will take on Lille. Is anything still clear about Victor Osimhen?
Anything what?
Anything clear about him featuring tomorrow?
Him is coming back.
I don't. He's not coming back.
I'm not sure at this
I think
point.
he's coming back.
Okay. But quickly, guys, Inter Milan were beaten by Real Madrid at the weekend, and Chilibem, this is to you. They were beaten by Real Madrid at the weekend, and in the Champions League now, we're looking at Inter Milan as the team to actually probably push Juventus. But this season, all of a sudden, it's another team now, AC Milan. Do you just think it's another early gragger like we saw last season? Inter were pushing, really, albeit that at some point they collapsed and Juve had a free ride to the title. But I don't know. This season, should our eyes just be on AC, or Inter too can do something?
I think it's a marathon, and I think AC will wear out at some point. I've said it before. They are going to wear out. The squad depth is not, the quality in that squad is not as much to win the league when you have a Juventus in the league as well, and you've got an Inter as well who've got better squad quality than AC Milan. I just think the coach now, Antonio Conte, is doing some things that he shouldn't be doing in some games, and seeing out games has been a challenge for him this season. I don't know why. Even last season, up until some time, he made some very funny decisions in the game that changed it against his favor. So I think on the run of 38 matches this season, Inter should be up there with Juventus as well, based on the quality in that side. Napoli should as well have a good run as well. So I think AC Milan, if they can be able, they will have to push above their weights if they can give Juventus a run for their money this season. But I think on the back of the history and of course the quality in the sides, yes, Juve have got a rookie coach in Andrea Pirlo, but I don't think it's enough to write out the qualities of Juventus. I think they are still going to win the league, but AC Milan, like I said, will have to push above their weights to get there. Inter will just have to play good football, at least give 70-80% of what they have to be able to push Juventus at least to the limit.
All right, on Twitter, Miracle says, that's at Miracle 16905811. Miracle says, I think when it comes to the controlling of a ball, no one does it better, and already Napoli has renamed their stadium in his memory. He was a great player of the game. On the message portal, this one says, I think no one is the greatest player of all times because no one lived for all times. Maybe at the end of times we will know. But for the history and what I watched, I'll go with Messi.
Nice perspective.
Pele and Maradona respectively. Young Junior with that one. Chimobi, why are people so obsessed with Liverpool? Wisdom, believe you me, this is obsession, not hatred. If Atlanta coach made Klopp clueless at Anfield, what the club made him do in Italy? My Liverpool will win with penalties. Sorry, Manchester United. I'm not sure we are talking about. I mean, nobody really paid attention to that now, talked about that. With the sports gang, you guys are doing a nice job. Thank you. My name is Glenn and Kim. For me, my three greatest players are Delima, Ronaldo, Messi, and Ronaldinho. My reason is because Maradona and Pelé played football when it was easy. Please, when is the time for Chelsea game?
When defenders will smack your knee and no, there were no rules to
protect. There were no rules really, and that's what Amunike is even saying, that these days players are being protected. But that game for Chelsea, Tottenham, it's 5:30 p.m. Nigerian time on Sunday. This one says my two greatest players are Maradona and Messi because I watched them play. Chelsea lawyer from Airport Road. Maradona's life was more than football. He was a nationalist and probably the greatest Argentine that ever lived. When Argentina was humiliated by Britain over the Falkland War, he single-handedly redeemed their pride in the 1986 World Cup. He allied himself with Castro of Cuba to snipe America all his life for supporting Britain against Argentina. He was more patriotic than all Argentine politicians. Jerry from Alu. Let's get to the phone lines. Today's Sports Live.
Hello, Wisdom.
Faith, quickly, go ahead.
All right. I want to speak on the match between Chelsea and
Speak about it.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think Chelsea are going to win that match on Sunday. Yeah, I'm expecting them to really win the match. By the time they come up against
Tottenham.
Yes, and then please let me make a correction to Citizen's question. I thought he was asking the bias street.
Okay.
So my bias street is Messi.
Okay. Because you love Messi. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Today's Sports Live.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, it's running about my level. Well, let me go first. It's about Maradona. When I started watching, it's when I was a little sad. When I watched it, that was useful.
So who are your two greatest? Maradona and who?
Okay, I think I'll forget to introduce my name. This is Mr. Liverpool, calling from Oyibo.
Okay.
Who I see is Maradona and Ronaldo, that former...
Delima Ronaldo. All right, thank you so much for that one. On WhatsApp, this one says, before now, emphasis wasn't placed on club football. There was no satellite TV to watch these two phenomenal men, but we know how the game have been polished, sanitized, and made easy. To me, my two best is Pelé and Maradona playing at that time of football, ruggedity and creating impossible feats. Hackett Davis in Tombia Kingdom. This one says, I chose Maradona, the king of soccer, and Ronaldinho, although I don't know much about Pelé. That's coming in from Chinyere. The message portal has this one that says, my two great picks of the greatest of all time are Pelé and Maradona. All right, two more calls and we're out of here. Today's Sports Live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Wisdom.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Gideon from Umuduru.
Gideon, go ahead. Your two greatest players of all time.
The two greatest players are undoubtedly Pelé and Maradona.
You
see, one unique thing about both of them is that they single-handedly gave their country that World Cup. Single-handedly won the World Cup, which no other player, apart from the only other player that has done so is Paolo Rossi of Italy in 1982. And Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Messi, they are still far from that.
All right.
These people single-handedly gave their country. Maradona contributed to 10 goals out of the 14 goals.
Exactly. 5 and 5 assists. All right, thank you so much. We have gotten that. Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Wisdom. It's Moses. I'm calling from Bogotá.
Moses, the city man. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I think the rest of all time, I think I will have to go with Ronaldinho first, Ronaldo second,
Ronaldinho and Ronaldo. Thank you so much, Moses. On Twitter?
On Twitter, I find Wadike says, good afternoon, Wizzy. My two greatest players of all time are Pelé and Thierry Henry. He drops an emoji.
Am I the only one shocked that we didn't have a Ronaldo Messi thing today?
Because maybe Maradona just died.
We need to discuss that.
Maradona just died.
People where would they talk about maybe their mates.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Reliable Reliance was here. Chidubem Njoku, who chose Pelé and Maradona, I think.
Pelé. No, I did the real Ronaldo.
The real Ronaldo, Ronaldo de Lima, and I don't do real Ronaldo. Ronaldo de Lima and Maradona. While for
Pele,
Reliance was
Maradona,
Pele and Maradona, and for Wisdom, I didn't go for two: Ronaldinho, Maradona, and Pele. I'm very biased.
Pele if he must be three.
All right, join us same time, not same time now. 1 p.m. tomorrow for the marathon edition of Today's Sports Life. It will start from 1 till 6 p.m. Until then, stay safe and of course keep it locked on this dial to the FM 95. Rocking one.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
All right, have a good morning to you as you're joining us here now, listening to Today 95.1 FM. I have with me in the studio Mr. Dan Ako. Good morning, Mr. Dan Ako.
Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Port Harcourt people.
And I have Mr. Chidi Bernard. Good morning, Mr. Chidi Bernard.
Yeah, good morning, listeners.
All right, so both of them are representatives of PIPS Global Trading Company. So we'll start off with what is PIPS Global Trading Company? What's it all about?
Exactly, exciting. PIPS Global Trading Company is a well-designed platform that equips people, mentor people to navigate the world's largest money market. So talking this morning, I am bringing good news on how people can navigate the market that does $6.2 trillion every single day and profit from this market every day, because this is the same market that is changing life, but a lot of people are being skeptical about the market because of maybe their neighbors that might have traded this market and didn't make profit from the market. But we tell people, are people making money from the market? That's true. People are making money every day from the market. Even nations are making money every day from the market. But you see, they don't make money because it's a rocket science. They get the right skill set. They have the right knowledge. They understand the rules and the confirmation checklist. And that's why we are here this morning. That PIPS Global Trading Company can help you, mentor you, empower you to be able to navigate this largest money market with other global traders.
All right, great. So how does PIPS Global operate in the money market?
We have tools. Like I said, it is not a rocket science to make money in the market. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is not a Ponzi scheme. So it is a skill, it's a business, but that it has access to the global wealth. That's just the difference. So in PIPS Global, we use our well-designed tools, just like the copy and paste. The copy and paste is a system that equips and allows students to make money exactly at the time that they are still learning. That means that as a student, you can be learning and you can be earning using this copy and paste platform. So that's one of the ways we operate in the market. And we also operate in the market using strategies. We operate in the market using strategies because we have a well-tested strategy called the Dan Ako triangle strategy. And this strategy is paying people, even those people that are not in PIPS Global Trading Company, but have access to the strategy. So it is awesome for people to know that we also have a curriculum that simplify trading for everyone. Okay. For example, like the proper risk management, it's an important course that people need to know. The price action, the trade psychology, in most of these trade courses, people are not aware of. And when they get into the market, it is just natural. It's a natural principle that what you don't know cannot benefit you. So you see, they begin to lose from the market and they blame it on the market. But I tell you that today is a good news because we are having a well-designed mentorship class for everyone. It is not supposed to be free, but we are giving this last quarter a promo, and you need to take hold of this opportunity right away. And all you need to do is SMS mentorship to a number I'm going to call. If you do that as quick and as fast as possible, they are going to get back to you with a free reservation seat SMS. And I tell you, that means that you will be at the mentorship class and you would not pay a dime. The number is 0704 334 9200. 0704 334 9200. We are not a roadside establishment. Okay. We are talking about this mentorship class is taking place at our admin block, our own center, and you need to come and see the setup. You will see different classes. You will know that this is an atmosphere of learning for everyone that is ready to acquire the right knowledge that can benefit their future. SMS mentorship to this number 0704 334 9200.
So what are the benefits of people that identify with Peeps Global Academy? Because I mean, I know that people who are into Forex markets are quite a number now.
Yeah.
So what are the benefits for people who identify with the Peeps Global Academy?
It's awesome. I used to say, number one, it's not about the money first. People have so esteemed money, and it's wrong. The knowledge, the awareness to this market. You know, there is difference between you knowing many things, but you knowing what works for you. You know, a lot of people, they think they know much about the market. They know deep things about the market. But check, they are losing. But in Peeps Global, we concentrate on the right thing you need to know that can fetch you the money. And I tell you, that is why you see those clients that have identified with us are all excited. This morning, we are running a class this morning, and it's a general class, both basic and advanced, and it's a class that would hold them by the hand and show them a working strategy. That means that you have not gone through the advanced class, but yet you can get acquire some knowledge that can be fetching you money even independently right now. So you see, these are beautiful, beautiful ways that people that have identified with us have actually benefited from the market. And another thing again is the oneness of mentorship, the relationship of you don't just get into Peeps Global and we leave you. We help you. We build a lasting relationship with you to see you that you are making money from the market, and you are not just making money, but you know what you are doing, so that when you are alone, when you are free, not being a student anymore, by yourself, you can be able to still make money. That is why they need to SMS mentorship to this number. Why is it last? The number is 0704 334 9200. I call that number again, 0704 334 9200.
Okay. So how has Peeps Global Academy impacted your personal life? Let me ask you this, Mr. Chidi Bernard.
Yeah, thank you. Peeps Global has actually helped me as a person, because I discovered that Peeps Global is in the business of giving people financial freedom. And this financial freedom is just through Forex education. They have given me the education, the insight, the knowledge on how to really make this money, and also not to depend on your monthly pay. Peeps Global actually helped me to change my status from being an employee to becoming an investor and a business owner. It's so much an awesome experience to just be having money and just use your handset and just trade and make the money and have the 100% profit. Exactly. And it's not that somebody is trading for you, or somebody is just having the money, some percentages. You are having the 100%. Exactly. And since I identified with Peeps Global, I've seen that actually you can really have financial freedom.
So how long have you been with Peeps Global?
I've been with Peeps Global for 6 months, more than 6 months now. And it has been awesome. And by the time you identify with Peeps Global, you will acquire the necessary skill set, the necessary knowledge to really navigate this financial market. The money market is so wide. And if you don't have the necessary education, you might just be a victim. So I really encourage our listeners to identify with Peeps Global and have financial freedom.
All right, then. So let me ask Mr. Dan Ako, how long has Peeps Global Trading Company been in existence? In I don't know, are they outside River State, or if it's...
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Let's have a brief history on that line.
Yes, exactly. Officially, about a year now, but unofficially, we've operated under a platform, another platform, for about 2 years.
Okay.
And basically, the mentors' experience is what we are counting, the leaders' experience. And we have leaders that have over 10 years' experience about this market. But the question you might want to ask outside this, if I've answered you with the brief history you wanted, have I done that?
Yes, you have.
All right. So the question now will be, what's my own benefits? And I would like to say that, first of all, someone that was owing a bank, someone that was indebted and running here and there, today is financially free. And that person is me. And outside that, again, how I was not born with this skill set. I learned it. And I tell you, it was also the platform of Peace Global Trading Company that helped me to a point. And how was I able to do that? I was able to calm down under the mentorship of the leaders, and I was able to get myself up. And today I can boast that I have developed a strategy that works for everybody, called the Akodan triangle strategy. See, people in US, Italy, France, Turkey, they are using this strategy and it's working for them. People at Lagos, I am traveling to Lagos by the moment after this event. I am going to teach people the strategy. It's working. It's everybody are talking about it. Medical doctor, which is Dr. Ben, he actually made a whole lot of money and he was amazed. And this man is not someone that is even in our platform at all, but he's a medical doctor that traced the market. This is it. People are winning either with Pips Global or around Pips Global. Why don't you identify yourself by SMSing mentorship to this number? The number is 0704 334 9200. The number again is 0704 334 9200.
All right, then. So who can attend your seminar?
Everyone. Everyone. Why I said everyone is because I have seen a whole lot of things. A lot of people that have come, people that are from the medical field, people that are from the law firm, people that are from engineering firm, multinationals like oil rig workers, people that are business men and women, young boys and girls, as students in Uniport and other places. Listen, everyone can do this. The only thing we tell people is that as you are coming, do you have a teachability index? Do you have a coachable spirit? Because a lot of people, we are used to the system of our society, which is the godfatherism system. And when you come like that, you won't be able to see further. But when you come with a coachable spirit, you find that everything becomes easier for you to understand, because people are going to mentor you. People are going to show you the way. Why don't you, take this opportunity right now? Clear all schedules. Don't say my job. I am not disputing the fact it's important, your job, but I tell you that you cannot pass your job to your children. Someone was talking to me yesterday. He says, sir, the beautiful thing about this skill set is that I am excited because I cannot teach my children about the global market. Why don't you come to and acquire this possibility mentorship class so that you can also help those around you? SMS mentorship. Mentorship is the code. As earlier is better for you, because this is not supposed to be free, but as quick as you can send mentorship, I tell you they will respond to you with the details of that event. And the number is 0704 334 9200. I call that number again, 0704 334 9200.
All right. So now let me ask this question, though.
All right.
Is this seminar free? Do people have to pay anything to access this?
Like I just said, it's not supposed to be free, but for now it's free.
Okay. It's not supposed to be, but for now it's
yes,
free.
It's free.
All right.
So it's like a promo.
Okay. So when is this?
The address will be forwarded to them via SMS because of crowd control.
Okay, so you need to send the text message first before you have access to where the place is going to be.
Exactly.
So one more question, though. Why should anybody be interested in the money market?
Man, why would anybody not be interested in making money? Why are we waking up early in the morning and saying yes sir to someone? It's because we want to make money so that we can take charge of the responsibilities around us. And that's why the global market is important, that we know about it, because that is where the world's wealth lies. So if you are saying yes sir to someone because of money and because you want to take over you want to take charge of your finances, why don't you do it in a much more flexible manner by having a skill set that can build your economy? That's the answer I will give to that.
All right, then. So before we wrap up, Mr. Chidi, what would you say to people who are listening? Mr. Chidi Bernard?
Yes, exactly. Most times people run after money. We wake up, we are just struggling. By the time you identify with Pips Global, you will see how money can work for you, because through the skill set, you will make money, and money will be working for you. It's not for you to be running helter-skelter. How do I get this money? And when you identify with Pips Global, you will just be free on your own to make this money at the comfort of your home. And all the
So you
struggles.
offers a lot of flexibility.
Exactly.
All right then. Okay, Mr. Chidi Bernard, thank you very much. And Mr. Dan Aqua, as you also wrap up, let's hear from you.
All right, thank you very much, Annie. Thank you, Port Harcourt people, for listening. What I would tell you, everyone listening this morning, is that don't put your money in a system that you are not in charge of. A system you can't control, a system you don't know the source. Don't put your money there. Stop investing and building your economy on another man's shoulder. Why don't you take hold of your dream this morning? SMS mentorship to this number 0704 334 9200. Listen, this number I'm calling can do a whole lot of things for you this last quarter. The number is 0704 334 9200.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Port Harcourt people.
All right.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wealth Wilson. The lawyer of NSAS protesters, Additional Gulana, has asked the Lagos State Panel of Inquiry to summon the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola. Ogulana told the retired Justice Story Sokobi-led panel that Fashola must be summoned to explain the circumstances in which he found a camera at the toll gate 5 days after the shooting incident. According to Ogulana, the visit to the toll gate on October 25, when Fashola found a camera, suggests an intrusion into the evidence of the October 20 shooting. Ogulana said this while cross-examining the managing director of the Lekki Concession Company, operator of the Lekki toll gate, Abayomi Omumuwa. A federal high court has granted bail to the senator representing Borno South, Ali Ndume. Senator Ndume has been in detention since Monday over his suretyship for former pension reform tax team chairman Abdul Rashid Maina, who had jumped bail. But Justice Okunabang, who granted the bail, said the decision was based on the senator's record of good behavior in court. Ndume has been remanded at the Koja Correctional Center for failing to produce the former pension tax team boss. A Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has awarded the sum of 50 million naira as compensation to the family of Daniel Chibike Ikeaguchi, also known as Sleek, against Nigerian Police Inspector General of Police, State Commissioner of Police, and two of its officers. Sleek is said to have been gruesomely murdered by the operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit of Rivers State Police Command on the 19th of September 2020, leading to the fundamental human rights suit against the defendants in the matter. In the two of the sittings before Justice S.C. Amadi, the defendants were never in court but appeared on the last adjourned date of 23rd November to file counter affidavit on the four prayers of the complainant, which was refused by the court following the argument by the claimant's counsel. The trial judge in his judgment granted the four prayers of the claimant, which includes declaration that the gruesome murder of Sleek contravenes the Constitution of Nigeria and that not arraigning the officers who pull out the trigger against the victim before a court was illegal, amongst others. Our correspondent Uchendu Ojoa reports that the claimant had demanded for 1 billion naira, but the judge awarded 50 million naira and directed that the money be paid in due course. Speaking to newsmen outside the court, counsel to the family of late Sleek, Nobu Njoko, described the judgment as justice well served. Dominic Ikwaguchi Onyeku, who is the father of late Sleek, and his mother, who told newsmen that the judgment will heal their wound to a certain level, even if their son would not come back alive. It would interest you to note that the family of late Sleek had, in the pursuit for justice for their murdered son, approached the judicial panel of inquiry investigating alleged murder, violation of fundamental rights of citizens, and other forms of brutality by men and officers of the Nigerian police. But the prayers were dismissed by the panel following the pending matter in court. Anna Farrington, the eldest daughter of Ghana's former president Jerry Rawlings, has warned against online fraudsters who claim to be raising funds for their father's funeral. Senator Rawlings, in a statement, said fake social media accounts have been created in her name to solicit for funds. She said the fraudsters are targeting those sending their condolences to her. Ms. Rawlings is a member of a parliament for the Klotikole constituency in Ghana's parliament. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget to take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap on the running water. Avoid touching your face and high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Once again, good afternoon. Do stay tuned as Platform on Radio comes up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Government tell us say police now our friend. I remember what my papa tell me. Say make I mind who I dey call my friend.
Young lady, you're under arrest.
Oga, for waiting now. What I do?
When you get to the station, you'll find out.
Hey.
Look, don't show, everybody don't jump out.
I say I know they follow you go anywhere.
Hey, you know they go anywhere. Go and ask about Officer Mark. You see, if I deal with you, nothing will happen. Nobody will question me. I will deal with you.
Oga, leave my clothes now. Wait. You won't take care of me. Oga.
Do you have 200,000?
200,000 for what now? What I do where you want to collect 200,000?
If you get to the station, you pay more than that.
200K for waiting. I don't get that kind of money. Huh? I don't get that kind of money. Oga, remember, you were once like us before you got into force. You have brothers and sisters like us in this society. The law says protect lives and properties. But what do we see today?
This life don't last forever.
Please remember, we have just one life. Why can't we live for one another?
Things will get better if you just hold my hand.
This message is brought to you from Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore.
As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody. Yeah!
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM.
Port Harcourt every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
Stand, greet.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome to Jagbajantis High School. My name is Sound Sultan, your new mathematics teacher. By the way, do you understand Pidgin English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we go use henceforth? Okay, carry your pen. Carry your paper. Them for my class. People of this world, them plenty. The sins of this people, many. So many. Many times plenty multiplier. waiting, they make rich man, they mess and leaders, they lie. The answer you get now waiting, they make young boys and girls join party gang. Answer you get now waiting, they make innocent man rot inside the jail. Get it, and then agree to grant and bail. Get it, oh. Everybody, oh yeah, join Jamba Jantis, make we solve mathematics. We did about our continent, so oh, you both say about mass, we go use take solve mathematics. So follow Jamba Jantis, so ya carry by be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentlemen, ladies.
Be for democracy.
No matter how bad it is, never military.
Now M for modification
of our behavior, let's stand to the same behalf.
A, accountability.
If you've been a chop money, I beg you take them easy.
S for solidarity.
Not every time divided, oh my shell.
We enter new millennium. Nigerians like 120 million. One population of 6 billion.
6 billion.
Divide that 1 by 120 million all together. Oh yeah.
All together.
The answer you get now waiting, they make people they jar. Come on for Niger. Answer you get now waiting, they make people want travel. By hook or by crook. The answer you get now waiting, they make people they sleep for embassy, for visa. Answer you get now waiting, they make people they sell the property for ticket. Get it. Then they travel see. Get it. Oh, hey. Everybody, oh yeah,
join Jamba Jantis, we solve mathematics.
We did about our continent, so oh, you both say na partners, we go use take
solve mathematics. So follow Jamba Jantis.
So ya carry by be for brotherhood.
Love your neighbor as yourself,
oh, for objectivity.
Be objective, gentlemen, ladies.
Be for democracy.
No matter how bad it is, never military.
M for modification
of our behavior, let's stand to the same behalf.
A, accountability.
If you've been a chop money, I beg you take them easy.
S for solidarity.
United we stand and divided, oh my shell.
You just the HSCity.
Shut it go.
And there's the VG City.
Shut it go.
Right go level for HSCity. The rich man corner be VG City. You try add AJ and VG City all together, oh yeah.
All together.
The answer you get now waiting, they make rich man oppress and then suppress. The answer you get now waiting, they make poor man depress, but then aggress. The answer you get now waiting, they make poor man they try to keep up with the Joneses. Answer you get now waiting, they make poor man begin, they try to prove a limit. Get it. Now get money then they finish. Get it. Oh, yeah. Everybody, oh yeah,
join Jamba Jantis, we solve mathematics.
We did about our continent, so
oh, you both say
about mass, we go use take
solve mathematics. So follow Jamba Jantis.
So ya carry by
situation in this nation, disposition, our condition, unexplainable pain in our hearts, not to mention brothers killing brothers, full of patience, salvation, resolutions are made, but always made with lack of vision. Imperfection is the order as we keep seeking solutions. Only God can solve this mathematical equation.
Thanks for your contribution. Now, any more questions?
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play on the current are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody.
The platform on radio serves on the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
A beautiful afternoon to everybody. I officially welcome you to another edition of the platform on radio on your premium talk station Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. Usually it would be high prep at this time, but somehow we had to bring you the platform on radio as it used to be before. I am Wealth Wilson and I shall be giving you insights into some of the news reports making rounds currently. Now, for those persons who do not know, the platform on radio is a program where we come up to slice up trending issues with our correspondents report. Okay, our correspondents are out there sourcing reports from the field, and on this program we take their reports and have them give us some more details. Perhaps you get to hear what is not entirely in the news. Now let's quickly dive straight into what we have for you on our menu today. Rivers High Court awards 50 million naira against Nigerian police over death of Daniel Chibike Ikeaguchi, also known as Slick. Supreme Court dismisses application by SPDC seeking to overturn judgment, ordering it to pay 17 billion naira to community in LMA local government area of Rivers State. Now, without much ado, let's talk about what we have. First off, a Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has awarded the sum of 15 million naira as compensation to the family of Daniel Chibike Ikeaguchi, also known as Slick, against Nigerian Police Inspector General of Police, State Commissioner of Police, and two of its officers. Slick is said to have been gruesomely murdered by the operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit of Rivers State Police Command on the 19th of September 2020, leading to a fundamental human rights suit against the Department of Police, which apparently are the defendants in the matter. In two of the sittings before Justice S.C. Amadi, the defendants were never in court. That's the police were never in court, but appeared on the last adjourned date, which is the 23rd of November, to file a counter affidavit on the four prayers of the claimant, which was refused by the court following the argument by the claimant counsel. Now, the trial judge, in his judgment, granted the four prayers of the complainant, which includes declaration that the gruesome murder of Slick contravenes the Constitution of Nigeria and that not arraigning the officers who pulled the trigger against the victim before a court was illegal, amongst others. Now, our correspondent to Chendo Jowo reports that the claimants had demanded for a compensation of 1 billion naira in the first instance, but the judge awarded 15 million naira and directed that the money be paid in due course. Now, speaking to newsmen outside the courtroom, counsel to the family of late Slick, Nobu Njuku, described the judgment as justice well served. Let's listen to the lawyer.
Well, to the extent that justice has been done, we've got judgment today. That's good. The court has seen all aspects of the brutality of the police. They are very careless, without regret. How do I describe their action? The court has seen, and just like everybody knows, that what they are doing is just out of place. And I feel great about it. I feel that the court has seen and we have gotten judgment. It's good. Justice has been done in my mind. Yeah. Out of the four prayers were all granted, except that the fourth one was varied to the extent that the financial award we were asking for, the court varied it. And but again, how much would they give to this family that will bring back a life that has been lost? Well, the message of the judgment is police. I beg, make una know they kill people. I mean, the whole point and kill is only for a fish. Humans are not for point and kill.
Well, Dominic Ikwagochi Onyeko, who is the father of late Sleek, and his mother, who said to newsmen that the judgment will at least heal the wound, inflicted upon them to a certain level, even if their son would not come back alive. Let's listen to the parents.
Well, in principle, I should claim satisfaction. But at least our efforts, the efforts, my council, the efforts of my community have not been in vain. And all brothers and sisters who have been praying for the success of this case, there has been a justice done, at least. And that will enable the federal government to choose the kind of people they give guns. Don't give gun to psychopaths and mental patients. You see their attitude, the way they killed my son, you see that these people are psychopaths. They have no human feelings.
We thank God for everything. God has done his best. Because whatever that happened is God's one. He's the one that did it for us through the help of our people. I'm not happy. No amount of money they will give me to return my son back. Money is not talking. Can't hear his voice through that money again.
Well, it would interest you to know that the family of late Sleek had, in the pursuit for justice for their murdered son, approached the Judicial Panel of Inquiry investigating alleged murder, violation of fundamental human rights of citizens, and other forms of brutality by men and officers of the Nigerian police. But the prayers were dismissed by the panel following the pending matter in court. Now, this is what we're going to talk about. We've seen how this played out. We've seen that in the end of the day, the family was able to, at least to an extent, get justice for the death or gruesome murder of their son, Sleek. Now, are we going to see this continue to play out? Are we going to see a lot of, victimized persons get justice, whether via the panel or judicial panel set up by, the police together with the state government? And are we also going to see a situation where we would see a complete reform of the Nigerian police force? Are we going to see a situation where we would see a complete and total reform of the Nigerian police force? Are we going to see a situation where we would no longer have news such as this, where people shoot, where our policemen would be given proper psychological check, the right orientation, so that in the discharge of their duties, they're not high-handed or brutal with the average civilian? Are we going to see a rejig, a transformation, basically, in the Nigerian police force? And with what has happened, the compensation granted to the family of the late Sleek, do you think that other families who had tendered their matter to the judicial panel of inquiry set up would at least find justice? Do you think so? Well, if you think that way, then keep the calls coming in. Send your calls to the numbers 0817 000951 or 0810 9510 951. Sending your text messages or your WhatsApp messages to the number 0701 9339 962. Okay, sorry we weren't able to take any calls there. We have issues with the phone lines, and I think we're still on the way to rectify those. Keep the calls coming in. Of course, we're talking about the slick issue. I mean, we've had for quite some time now talks on police brutality and high-handedness in not just Rivers State, in the country as a whole. And then we are also talking about the fact that little by little we've started seeing and noticing that a lot of these victims are gradually being able to get justice served. Yesterday we were talking about a petitioner who had sent in a 1 billion naira petition worth of compensation, and we asked the question, will the judicial panel be able to give that money to the petitioner? And a lot of persons were skeptical about it, the talks about whether or not there would be justice in the end of the day. But now we've seen a court that, passed judgment to one of the victims who had taken their matter up front and then has given them a compensation of 50 million naira as against the 1 billion naira that they had demanded as compensation for suing the defendants. That is the Commissioner of Police and hold on there. Let me get all the persons involved in this. The Nigerian Police Inspector General of Police and the State Commissioner of Police, 2 other officers. And then I'm asking the question, do you think that this is justice well served? Or do you think that we would see our policemen now properly rehabilitated and probably even reformed so that we don't see a lot of these things happen anymore? 95.1 FM. Hello? Okay. All right, keep your calls coming in, keep your text messages coming in as well. The numbers are still very much open, 0701 9339 962, and your calls to the number 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510 951.
Police now our friend. I remember what my papa tell me. See, make I mind who I dey call my friend.
Young lady, you're under arrest.
Oga, for waiting now. What I do?
When you get to the station, you find out.
Hey.
Don't show, everybody don't trap out.
I say I know they follow you go anywhere.
Hey, you know they go anywhere. Go and ask about Officer Mark. You see, if I deal with you, nothing will happen. Nobody will question me. I will deal with you.
Oga, leave my clothes now. Wait. You won't naked me. Oga.
Do you have 200,000?
200,000 for what now? Waiting I do where you want collect 200,000.
If you get to the station, you pay more than that.
200k for waiting. I don't get that kind of money. I don't get that kind of money. Oga, remember, you were once like us before you got into force. You have brothers and sisters like us in this society. The law says protect lives and properties, but what do we see today?
This life don't last forever.
Please remember, we have just one life. Why can't we live for one another?
Things will get better if you just hold my hand.
This message is brought to you from Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
You can never plan the future but the past. He who has a why to live can bear almost any out. Lost time is never found again. It is the province of knowledge to speak, and it is the privilege of wisdom to listen. I don't take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. In the end. It is not the years in your life that counts. It is the life in your years. Make it count with us. Make it count with us at Today 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.